We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, right now. We go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Voices in my head know me, call me, I will.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the second day this week of the Baltic Masters. We're going to watch again 3 games being played. We have crossed our half point of the league, and we're going into the second round robin, which means that we're going to see again the duels that we already saw. We're going to see if the teams that lost their games can now get a win here, or the scores are set. My name is Minya, I'll be your host, and with me, of course, in the studio here are Michko and Saina. Guys, we passed our halfway journey. Now we're gonna see those rematches, that second round robin. What can we expect here? Do you think that the teams right now have some point of view of how they should play against their opponents, because you're meeting them second time, not the first time, when you don't know how they're gonna play? You didn't have a lot of material to go around internet and see how these guys are gonna play, because pretty much the teams are now formed, they are unknown, and now this is the second time you're going against them. Do you think that maybe you have a better chance if you lost that game?
Well, sure. I mean, we saw yesterday during the interviews that some players were hinting on being prepared for every single team in a different way for any opponent. So maybe we can see different outcomes of those first matches. But most important for everybody is to actually get a win in those games. Some teams want to take the first victory in those rematches because they want to actually keep their chances for being top 4. On the other hand, 5 Kings, Iron Wolves, and some teams that have won against their opponents for the top 4 want to secure the 2-0 in their matchup, so they can avoid playing tiebreakers and secure the place without actually having to play in one more game.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna go ahead and see what's in store for us for today. 3 matches. Let's see what the first round looked like. This is the 6th round, and it's like this: Kenty and Team Infamous as the first match, Iron Wolves and 5 Kings as the second match, and Just for Fun and Estonian Vipers as the third match. Saina, do you think that this second match is gonna be really a good one that we should pay attention to, since we have Iron Wolves with their roster changes, and then we have 5 Kings there on the top of the scoreboard?
I think all 3 games are going to be pretty fun, and I think we're probably going to counter our predictions from last time pretty much in every single game. So I think it's going to be fun either way. Even game number 1, looking at Kenty, can they actually pull a win? With how they played yesterday, it's going to be hard. Iron Wolves again, this time it's a little bit of a different roster. They have an AD carry. Agantas now is in that jungle, so I feel like they have better chances. And again, seeing how they started last time, it wasn't impossible to take the win even back then. So game number 2, definitely, you know how I like calling things in advance. So the winner of this game today, game number 2, is going to be the first one that goes and represents the Baltic region.
Oh, the first one on the scoreboard.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll see. Let's go ahead and see the scoreboard and make it clear what Saina is talking about. Here, 5 Kings are 5-0 right now. Just for Fun, 3-2. We have a 3-way tie. Just for Fun, Iron Wolves, and Estonian Vipers here. All 3 teams have 3-2. Team Infamous has 1-4, and Kenty, last team here on the table, 0-5. Saina was talking about if Iron Wolves win this match today, you think that they're gonna go ahead and get to the 5 Kings and even go higher.
They're winning the whole thing.
They're winning the whole thing.
Yes, the winner of game 2. Remember this, chat.
We're definitely gonna see this. Michko, do you think that the second game is going to be the game that we're gonna see the highest League of Legends play?
Probably. I mean, both second and third game are equally interesting. We will see the top 4 teams playing with each other. So yeah, maybe the second one can be more interesting because of those aggressive style matchups from the side of 5 Kings. Also, Iron Wolves, they did try to kind of cheese with that Fizz and the Veigar in the bot lane. It didn't work out that well, but they did have a chance in that match. Now they have Yashiro in the bot lane, who is an AD carry main. Maybe they can try and play with that Ezreal, who is mostly picked or banned champion so far during the Baltic Masters. And also with Yashiro being played as an AD carry, Saulius could go for something maybe more adapting to Tibor, who has played pretty well. So
Yeah.
Saulius will not have an easy job, that's for sure. But we'll see how that will go.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't know Tibor before the beginning, but his performance is quite good so far. We'll go ahead and see the lineups of the first match. The first match is going to be played Team Kenty against Team Infamous. On the side of Team Kenty, it's Smakler, Real, Rimtulis, Eonis, and Iron. And on the side, Team Infamous, it's Blind Boy, Chafilol, Slola, Mr. Freeze, and Dingo. Saina, does Kenty have a chance here?
Well,
I mean, you're 0-5. You're playing against a team that didn't really show up yesterday or the day before. You're playing against them. You didn't even show up yesterday. We saw not really a good play with Kenty. Can they get a win?
I feel like every team has a chance. I don't think it's impossible to win the game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very difficult. I think the odds are not in their favor, and that's by a pretty significant amount. But can they win? I'm sure they can win.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give them like a very low. I'm going to give them like 20%. 20%. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. 20% for Kenty.
20% for the win. And what are your predictions for this game? You're going with Kenty with those 20% prediction. Which
I'm sticking to the 80.
Yeah. You're on your side today, eh? You didn't eat the pancakes. We can see that from the first game. So you're sticking with the Team Infamous.
Yeah, I mean, none of these teams have like impressed us so much with the way they played, but Infamous, they did look like a team that can actually have a chance at winning at least one game other than the one they played against Kenty yesterday. That Kogma was looking pretty good, but in the end it was not enough for them to win the game. On the other side, Kenty, like they never so far had a game that someone was fed and someone had the chance to carry the game, but it just didn't work out for them that much. Every single time they lose, it's mostly being stomped from the enemy team, so I'm not even sure if I would give them like this sinus 20%. I would give them maybe 10 or 15.
Signing, you're sticking with Infamous. You said 20% for Kenty. That means
they're pretty much in a better spot.
Yeah.
Overall, player-wise, individually, team-wise, I just think they're a stronger team today.
And we'll see how you voted and which team you chose to be your favorite. Kenty 71% and Team Infamous is 29.
Everybody loves the underdog. That's just what it is. They just want to see them win.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, they knew you're gonna vote for Team Infamous, so that's why everybody clicked on Kenty. It's 71%. Do you think they can manage that 71%? What do they need? Like, do they need a good carry play or a good mid play? Since we saw that Kog'Maw, it was a good Kog'Maw. I mean, he was ahead of I don't know who was on mid lane. It was Galio, no, not Galio, or Galio?
Saulius and Galio.
Yeah, so he was ahead of Galio playing against Saulius. Now, can Kenty's mid laner have an upper hand here?
Honestly, I mean, the biggest problem was that Cannon more than anything being played in the mid lane.
Do you
So
think
maybe
we're gonna
just,
see Cannon?
like, abandon Cannon, like just completely kick him out of the roster.
Abandon
and
ship, you know? Like abandon ship.
Just don't force playing Cannon. I mean, it's okay as a cheese if it's a perfect situation for that, but they constantly go for the Cannon, ban things that Cannon is good at against, and also they're blind picking Cannon in the top lane without knowing what's going into him. So just kind of find a way for the draft to look good and not counter pick yourself during the ban phase, and maybe they can have a chance.
San, how is it possible to pick Cannon and ban the heroes that he's good against? Like, how do you make that mistake? Is it a coach's mistake, or it's like you're not thinking straight?
No, so basically I was trying to figure out an analogy, and the best one I got is cheese only works if the opponent can't smell it. They know they're playing Cannon. The Cannon is not going to be a cheese pick if you know they're playing Cannon. So they need something else. It's simply you show the Cannon, they're clearly not going to pick something that Cannon is good into. So you need to figure out something else, or pick the Cannon and then flex it. I have no idea. I mean, Cannon doesn't really work anywhere else, but maybe play the Cannon. Just do something. Move Cannon out of top lane and then cheese differently, because just picking Cannon clearly does not work at all for them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see if we're gonna have another cannon in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our short introduction of our first game. It's gonna be Kenty versus Team Infamous. We'll see if they're gonna pick up cannon and potentially get their first victory. Stay tuned, we're going into the champion select.
Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me and I'll be running, possessed by a lone, low voodoo, fired up like a wolf on a full moon, and we're stuck in a la-la land. The tides will turn without us, and I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. 'Cause you got me haunting, haunting. Cause you got me holding, play me like a bass.
We are ready to dive into champion select number 1 of the day. We're gonna see if Kenty can actually take revenge and grab that victory. I mean, according to the audience votes, people definitely want to see them win. So, I mean, okay, so they have no pressure. You know, they're the underdogs, clear underdogs here. They have the audience. They have everything they need to get motivated and take the win.
Honestly, the biggest problem in this game is the way Infamous wants to think. Because if they lose the game, both teams will be 1-6, 1-5, and teams that lose today will be 3-2. So both teams then need 2 wins to actually reach the top 4, and both teams have to play like the top 4. And nobody expects them to win like 2 out of those 4 games to reach top 4. That sounds like something completely imaginary and something that's not gonna happen. So Infamous wants to secure the win, so Kenty doesn't stand a chance against them. And if they take the win, they will be 2-3. The losing teams today will be 3-3. So they can actually reach top 4 if they only take 1 win. Against the top 4 teams. Kenty as well as Infamous will lose the first bans from this champ select, but Kenty will start with the Volibear ban. Infamous will answer with that Syndra. Syndra is something that we haven't really seen from Kenty, so I'm not really sure why it's banned, but I guess it's a really strong pick at the moment, so even if they don't play it, you want to ban it. Graves and Ezreal as well. Mr. Freeze did play a good Ezreal yesterday, so not a really bad ban for Kenty, and that Kalista will be locked in, but I'm not really sure if I'm like satisfied with that. We saw it yesterday, it didn't look nice at all, and also with the scaling that she has, every single AD carry out there can actually be stronger than her. Infamous now can go for the Varus, they can go for the Aphelios. Everything is stronger than Kalista at some point of the game, and we have already seen Kenty that they cannot play that good when the game reaches 30 minutes or more.
We're gonna see what their plan is. Karma is gonna be locked in. Ashe, most likely Ashe, of course, doing pretty well on the bot side, having that mana immune. At the point where you get the enemy, it doesn't really matter if Kalista can dodge the arrow or maybe even cleanse it, you can just right-click her and kill her. I do like the Nautilus, however, now from Infamous, I would like to see that Karma being flexed and actually pick up a supported team play against that Nautilus. Maybe a Trash, maybe even pick up something along the lines of a maybe Tam Kench or a Braum, but either way we're going to see Corki here potentially being locked in for Kenty. I believe Corki was one of their okay picks, but it wasn't the same mid laner.
Yeah.
So there's some play on okay Corki.
To be fair, it wasn't okay. I mean, he had the game like 0-3, 0-4.
I think, yeah, but he didn't int the lane necessarily. And
Yeah,
with Corki, it's a way to skip that laning phase. That I mean, Kenty's getting stomped early on. So you play Corki, you shouldn't. You can still die if you try your best. You shouldn't really die all that often. You have the Valkyrie, you're pretty safe. You're in a short lane. So overall, Corki should be fine to scale up. Meanwhile, Kalista and Nautilus should be playing a little bit more aggressive, but Infamous here locking in the Azir, which is on one side okay, but still Cassio is open, it's a good counter pick, and now you're showing that Karma is support.
Yeah, they also could have just picked the Cassio, and you counter pick the Corki. In the late game, you use Miasma on Kalista. She cannot basically out attack because every single time she wants to out attack, she wants to jump away. She cannot jump, so you're forcing her to out attack, standing in the place, which will kill her pretty easily. Kha'Zix and Set will be banned during the first rotation, as well as this Echo. Probably Echo, even if he got locked, it would be Echo in the jungle, and it's a pretty good pick. I mean, you can go very easily into Ashe, into Azir. Setting up the ganks will be easy, but I expected from Slowla to take something that can actually punish Corki in the early game, because now with the Azir, with the Corki, we will legit see the AFK matchup in the mid lane. Yeah. Some poke with the Sand Soldiers, with the rockets, and nothing more than that. Only dealing the damage, stacking the tier on the other side. On the second one, we will see just farming until National is completed, after which Azir will probably go for the Leandris Torment and just go and burst the complete enemy team. Kalista and Nautilus, again, they are pretty aggressive in the early game. Hooking Ashe or Karma will probably result in a kill, and this Elise is something that I actually don't like in this situation. I mean, she only needs to land like one cocoon to do something, but Corki can dodge that, Kalista can dodge that, Nautilus is pretty tanky to actually not die from it, so not really that good of an option. They maybe want to play for that like pick comp with the Ashe arrow and the cocoon, but ooh,
wow, okay.
We will see Evelyn for the second time in the Baltic Masters, but not on the same guy, so I'm really looking forward to it. And also, if I'm not wrong, Real is the sub for Kenty. He didn't play so far, so maybe we can see a more aggressive style from Kenty and look for the better performance.
I mean, honestly, they need it, and bot lane should be very easy to gank pre-level 6. I feel like they can abuse bot lane so hard, even though Evelyn, of course, doesn't have that true stealth. At the same time, it doesn't really matter. You have the Nautilus, you hit the dredge line, and after that, you pretty much have a free kill Shen. Fun fact, actually, I was reviewing the 10-15 patch notes, and Shen is actually getting a buff in the new patch. I have no idea why. Why would you buff a hero that is already so good? And I'm kind of curious. In solo queue, go ahead.
I can use like reuse the meme on this situation. 200 years.
Okay,
like
fair enough,
every single time I read patch notes, I find at least one thing that I think about, like, why? It doesn't even matter if it's a nerf, it's a buff, it's a new thing, it's a removal. Like, every single time I have to think about why.
I think overall it's a good patch. I mean, I love the Skarner. I don't know if you saw the Skarner. Skarner changes are going to be amazing. At least I think so. He's getting a percentage damage.
The only thing I saw that the Thresh is going to be nerfed, so...
Deservedly. He's broken.
Yeah, but I like Thresh, so
they're buffing Caitlyn, so I guess I'm kind of biased either way. I'm kind of curious to see what Shen is going to do here into the Ornn. We kind of knew it's going to happen. They need a tank frontline, especially when you're having that Elise in the jungle, having that Ashe as an AD carry and Azir. You need something to soak up a little bit of damage. But this game, I'm going to put it almost 100% on what Evelyn can do. Evelyn has to have impact in the map, and the issue with Kenty is they have to wait till level 6 before they do anything. On the other side, Elise is going to be very efficient at ganking pre-level 6, so basically maybe Elise can use the aggression of Kenty against them, especially in that bottom side of the map, because if you somehow connect anything in Kalista, whether it's the Ashe W, the Karma route, the other team is going to follow, then once the route actually connects, you're going to have the cocoon as well, and that's going to be a pretty easy kill. But past level 6, you have the Evelyn, Shen coming into stealth, Corki having the package around in minute 8, so a lot of tools to actually fight Team Infamous.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Kalista and Nautilus is a pretty aggressive pick for the bot lane for the early game, and Evelyn does have the charm that lasts pretty long, and with the Nautilus and Kalista both having a lot of CC, the hook, the snare, after which they have 2 slows to be applied. Even before level 6, Evelyn can gank although she will have some problems because she will not be in stealth, but if they secure vision around the bot lane, remove wards from the side of Infamous, maybe she can actually try and gank the bot lane. She's playing against Karma and Ashe, no ways of actually dodging anything without having flash or cleanse, so one charm into Nola's hook, that's probably a charmed person, and that will end up in a kill. Kalista in the early stages with the Halo Blade and the rend damage, she can take kills pretty easily, so I'm not really like trying to immediately say that Evelyn like will not exist in the early game. Yeah, she will have a hard time. She's playing against the Elise, who is a pretty good champion in the early game, unlike the Evelyn, but sure, I mean, they have a pretty good gank setup in all lanes except maybe mid lane, but you don't want to gank Azir like before level 6, not even Ornn as well. I mean, he can buy Bami Cinder, some for Cape, something to actually counter the Shen. He will not have any magic resist for the Evelyn, but still you don't want to gank a tank with an assassin before level 6, so bot lane will probably be the only place on the map where Real wants to fight and try to set up places. Mr. Freeze does have the exhaust, Dingo with the heal, so they are kind of playing against that Nollas and the Kalista, and Ionis, as we already mentioned, against the Ashe and the Cocoon. He must have that cleanse. It can work pretty well for him, although once it gets used they can try to re-engage and fight that Kalista again. Also exhausting to Kalista can be pretty good. You're reducing the damage, but Kalista doesn't really rely that much on auto attacks by dealing damage instead of applying those rend stacks. So Mr. Freeze exhaust can be helpful, but definitely cannot save lives.
I think overall he's going to be looking at that exhaust for the Evelyn in the later stages of the game. And curious to see what Smackler is going to be able to do as well. But yeah, interestingly enough, second Chi domination. I mean, primary is pretty normal. Ornn sometimes likes the spellbook, sometimes goes for the grasp, rocking the demolition, double scaling. But Ravenous Hunter, interestingly enough, something we don't see that often on the Ornn. You'd imagine he would maybe go for the ultimate hunter instead. I still feel like the sustained battle against Shen is not really gonna work. Shen having a lot of damage, and meanwhile, Tool is here completely zoning Slola. Not sure how that happened so early on into the game, but oh yeah, okay, so that's how Gatling gun level 1 OP, especially if you can go past the minions. Slola is gonna try to just farm up and scale up a little bit. He's actually going for the Comet, so he shouldn't be in a position where he's getting that bullied that hard in the lane by a Corki that has a corrupting potion start. Either way, Freezed trying to do some damage on Iron. They're getting level 2. Dingo shielding the Ashe immediately, but Ashe taking Hogshot level 2 to scout for the Evelyn. Really is gonna get spotted here. And honestly, when you're shoving in with Ashe, this position is just so perfect because you can cover the entire jungle of the enemy team, and you know exactly which camps are there, which camps are not. You can kind of expect and track the enemy jungler much better. Meanwhile, Elise can just go run around unnoticed. She's gonna try to evade here, but Evelyn, I believe, has the ward, so they know exactly where Chaffee is. Which means Corki shouldn't actually fall to this gang, but he is still fighting.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he's doing that. I mean, he's playing Corki. Just ignore the Azir as much as you can, take up the farm, and you'll be good. And also, Rintulis has the flash and the TP, so no cleanse on that Corki. If he gets hit by the CC, he will be in some problems. Real will take the biggest crack here. He will take the other 3 as well. Chaffee wanted to gank from behind against Iron and Dionis. Probably maybe even try to dive. I mean, diving Nautilus is not that good to actually try, but okay, you have the Elise, you have the turret reset, and maybe that can work out. But when they saw the Evelyn, they knew and their chances were completely slim, so they opted out of it. The first Drake of the game will be that Ocean, so I'm already liking the fact that we're seeing Ocean that early. Rintulis will be in some problems. Chaffee can flash and use the Cocoon. Let's see if he can predict the flash. He used the flash to hit the Q's. Repel will be there, and also the Cocoon, but Chaffee could have played this a little bit better. Smackler will try to fight with Blind Boy. He does have the grasp of the Undying, but this Ornn is dealing a pretty good amount of damage. No victories here for anybody. Iron managed to find the hook. Dingo can be some problems, and Mr. Freeze procced the Q. He does deal a pretty good amount of damage. Definitely not enough for anybody to actually take the kill. Rimtulis TP'd back into the mid lane. They can try to chase up Slola or Chaffee. No kills will be taken on the map so far, but the first Cutler on the topper side of the map will be in Infamous's hands, as well as the bottom one. So Evelyn does have a little CS advantage over the Elise, but mostly by taking jungle camps, nothing besides that. And we will see who will take the first Drake, taking into consideration the bot lane wave setups and everything else. Maybe Infamous can look to take the first Drake. And Tulis got the Suffer Crystal only as his first buy. Not really sure if he had more gold than that, or maybe he just like went back, TP'd to try and take the kill, contested Sculptor, so he didn't have time to buy anything more than a Mana Crystal. But now he's flashing the cooldown, and if Elise comes from behind, he can be some problems. So I'll also use the TP, but he got 2 daggers, no potions, which means Azir does not have a good amount of healing, but Chaffee landed the Cocoon, and real I don't even know why he's fighting here. He will flash away, and Cocoon is gonna be landed on that Elise, but Elise, ooh, Azir will take the first blood. Iron is hitting the that hook. Now here comes the Shen as a level 4, which means that if he wants to land the taunt, he will have to flash. He is in some problems now. He will manage to find the taunt, but Ionis has taken the kill on the Elise. In the meantime, Azir will die as well, and Nautilus on the other side of the team. Kenty, Smackler wants to flash away, blind by Mr. Freeze, and Dingo can actually try to chase him, but the Blastcon will keep him out of danger. And Shatter Crystal Arrow was not there since Mr. Freeze is level 4, but this fight in the bottom jungle will end in a 2 kills for everybody.
Yeah, 2-2 right now, and Chaffee honestly not having a good time playing the Elise into the Evelyn and getting completely out-tempoed here. Some miscommunication between Real and Rim, however, which actually caused them to end up not being in a good spot. However, Kalista rotating along with the Shen did end up quite well for them. Elise, he just came out of the brush, or he said, okay, thank you for letting me know where you are, but either way, Real is almost at that level 6 mark, and he didn't die on Evelyn. He did just fine. He's scaling up, he's getting that stealth, and things are about to become a whole lot easier for this Evelyn, or at least quite a bit harder for Infamous, considering now they have to spam control words pretty much everywhere. And I mean, if you look at the bottom side of the map, they have 4 control words placed around the dragon area for that exact reason. Of course, Ashe is gonna keep spamming the Hawkshot, keep tracking that Evelyn. He will see him doing that blue buff. Meanwhile, in the bottom side of the map, the dredge line is not gonna connect. Both junglers grabbing their buffs. Elise is gonna hit level 5. Meanwhile, Evelyn, I believe after the blue buff, he should be 1 more camp away from level 6. So yeah, Real soon enough getting that stealth. The only problem is he has no way, almost no way to gank bot unless he lane ganks without getting spotted by the ward. And Rim, meanwhile, very aggressive, no wards, no flash, not how you mid lane.
Yeah, once again he's gonna die, and I don't even know what this escape route was. I mean, flash on cooldown, slowly is level 6, Cocoon getting hit. I'm not really sure why Rimtulis is doing this, and Evelyn trying to kill this Azir. He can actually try and flash to get the kill, flashing the cooldown, but the charm will land, as well as the E ulti. It's gonna be enough for this Evelyn to get the shot on gold. Slola trying to copy Rimtulis' game style, obviously, since he died not in a completely good way. I mean, he's playing against Evelyn, she's in stealth almost all the time, and you should have expected that to happen. But Rimtulis going back to his obvious play style. That's good scaling champ, but dying early game. Wow, that's a nice hook from Iron. Now let's see where this Elise can go. Definitely not a good option, and I'm not even sure why Smackler used Stand United here. Shen ulti went on cooldown, and they like make the pick 3 against 1. Ashe and Karma just ran away, and Smackler wanted to fight maybe even more. Maybe he expected for Iron to actually try and CC lock the Karma as well as the Ashe, and maybe then they can connect the CCs with the Shen taunt, but pretty bad idea for this Shen. But he will get the assist. With the assist, he can go back to base and buy the Tiamat, which will definitely help him in fighting Blind Boy, at least for a few more trades until Blind Boy gets the Bami Cinder. Then Ornn will start smacking that Shen. Rimtulis again trying to fight against Lola, and this was like the worst package I have ever seen in my life. Definitely, I mean, not hitting anybody, not dodging anything. Minions weren't actually caught by the flame, and complete waste of Corki passive. Shen, in the meantime, not being able to kill that Ornn 1v1. Even if he lands the taunt, Ornn can try and fight with that. Corki lost half of his HP, but corrupting potions are there, as well as the honeyfruit. So surviving against the Azir will be a good thing for Rimtulis here. Shouldn't be in some problems, but has to fear from Chaffee. Once this release comes, that's probably dead the Corki, and now again Flash is gonna be burned down. But honestly, this is a good thing for Infamous. Every single time Rimtulis didn't have Flash, he still kept playing very aggressive, so they can try and actually punish him again. They did it so far 2 times in these first 10 minutes. And with the Flash being on cooldown for the next 5, they can try and play it up again. Chaffee doesn't have the Flash, but Cocoon does have the range to actually try and hit over the wall. Instead, he wants to take the Herald, but Ionis with his Rend stacks definitely can outsmite the Smite. And this is a pretty good amount of damage from this Kalista and the Elise. I mean, Evelynn, which will make this Elise dead. Chaffee 0-3 so far. He did manage to like get some good ganks in the mid lane, but everything besides that did not work out. Real has the Flash, has the Charm, and Slola will die again here. He does have the ulti, which was used completely bad. Real didn't even try to stack the Charm, so Slola finds an escape route without even burning his Flash.
That's quite weird right there. Meanwhile, people making strange moves across the map. Elise, as said, not having a great time. Chaffee finding that Elise being 2 levels down on an Evelynn, something that should never happen. And it's times like this where you just think, maybe we should just pick the scaling jungler, so we don't really have to worry about what it's gonna do later. Blind Boy is gonna get dived here, of course. Nautilus does have the Kalista ult, so he can tank freely, and this is literally the easiest dive in the history of dives. I don't even know if the Kalista ult was necessary, but there was no way for them to fail there. Nautilus even had the stopwatch. It was a guaranteed kill here.
Yeah, I mean, Kalista ult can be reactivated, stopwatch cannot, so maybe that's why they want to save Iron. He also did have Flash available, maybe just wanted to prevent him to using that. Rimtulis will dodge the Enchanted Crystal. Real is coming from behind, but so far he's against 3 of them. Now Shen is coming in with the Stand United. He will be CC locks. Metal Flash taunt hits this Ashe. Mr. Freeze will be dead. TP coming in from the Ornn, who does have the ulti. Let's see what they can do with that. In the meantime, Herald is gonna be using the top lane to get some bonus gold for Kenty, but Rimtulis and the Real can actually kill them all. Rimtulis used the Galley Gun, but not enough damage for him to actually kill the Chaffee or Blind Boy. 1-for-1 in the mid lane, but on the top side of the map, Iron and Dionis do have this Rift Herald and the Demolishers for this turret to be destroyed. Kenty will take 2 turrets from this mid lane fight. Enough bonus gold for the Kalista and Nautilus, and so far they do have a 3.5k gold lead against Team Infamous. 3 kills and 2 assists on Kalista, as well as bonus turrets, Blades gold. Puts her in 1600 gold advantage, which is not that bad against the Ashe, but also Mr. Freeze is playing a champion that scales a little bit better than the Kalista, so for Infamous this is not that big of a problem, unless Kenty actually finds a way on the map to take everything that exists so far. The first Drake did go into Infamous's hands. That Ocean Drake, definitely not something that is completely game-changing or a problem for Kenty, but the second Drake is spawning right now, and this is something they should contest. Maclo doesn't have the Flash, also Stand United is on cooldown from that mid lane fight. Real as well doesn't have the Evelynn ult, which means that if Kenty wants to fight this, they may not be in the position to do that. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is there, as well as Azir ultimate, and Iron will not land the Dredge Line. Rimtulis is coming here with the package, and this looks like a dragon for Kenty. Azir is in the top lane, and the remaining team of Infamous do have to actually walk away. Karma will be CC locked here with the package, and all Assault will secure the first kill for Kenty. Rimtulis played this pretty well, position the package in that way that Dingo cannot run away. which makes him take the kill. Chaffee wants to contest here, and let's see, he can smite it, definitely not. Evelyn will take the kill on the Drake, and as well, Ionis securing the Chaffee. 2 for 1 in favor of Kenty, and they will take the first Drake of the game. Now they can try and even take this mid lane. All the salt into hook. Iron missed everything he could, and now he was AC locked by Ninjeta Crystal, but managed to run away from the turret range, which means that he will survive. Mr. Freeze only used the flash there, but Kalista ult in favor of taking the enemy ADC's flash. Definitely worth it for Kenty. Evelyn with the Magi stacks, 9 of them in the 14th minute. Not really that bad. 2-0-4 so far, and he can actually look to find this Ash, but with the ulti being on cooldown, it will be pretty hard for Evelyn to actually take the kill. Rimtulis against the Blind Boy without the magic resist. Corki can actually try and fight with this Ornn pretty well. Not really sure if he can actually kill him 1 against 1, but still he can push pretty good, and Blind Boy wants to fight here. He will land the second knockup of this fight. Managed to fight another auto attack, and Rimtulis is gonna die against Ornn with the flash being available, as well as the Valkyrie. Try to forget everything I said in the past 30 seconds about the Corki Ornn matchup, because obviously I'm trusting Rimtulis too much.
Yeah, stuff like this should not happen. Kenty, they have everything they need to actually take control of the game. At the Kalista is pretty fed. Evelyn, of course, stacking that Magi's, and Rimtulis just cannot afford to die like this. His team needs him. The hook is gonna connect. Ash has no flash. That's gonna be an easy kill. Nautilus here, unfortunately, taking the kill. Evelyn, he's not gonna be too happy about that one. He does want all the stacks for himself, but what can he do? Iron almost with the Gorgle Stone Plate. Shen shoving up top side as well, having the ult available. Kenty is actually getting to level 11 pretty soon, both on Evelyn, Corki, and Shen. So I feel like that's going to be quite a nice power spike for the blue team. Meanwhile, Infamous, they have a strong Azir, but he still needs items. Evelyn, or rather Elise right now, is a stun bot. Same level as the enemy support, that's never a good sign. Chaffee is going to hit the last cone, retreat back. But so far, it's pretty much pick versus pick. Infamous, they do have quite a good amount of control over. Chaffee needs to be careful. He's gonna face check. Meanwhile, slowly he's gonna be in trouble, but he still lives.
I managed to find the CC lock on this Elise, and now let's see if Chaffee can get killed. He will flash away from Real, which not landed the Q. Mr. Freeze also managed to miss. The Enchanted Crystal Iron is in some problems. He does have the flash. Stoppage already used, and also the shield will prevent him from dying. Evelyn is gonna get shut down here. Not really expected that to happen, but Mr. Freeze did manage to find the volley, which secured the slow, and after that Chaffee had the cocoon. This will be only the kill on the Evelyn. Not really that big of a win for Infamous, but they did remove some of the magic stacks. They also got the shot on gold, and now they can take the Herald without it actually being contested. In the meantime, Rimtulis will hang out in the bot lane, take some farm, take the turrets, but still Corki, 140 CS in 17 minutes. Not that good for him, but he does have the good wave, and this turret looks like it will be taken down with this minion wave. Nobody's on the bot side of the map. Now here comes the TP from the Azir, and Tier 2 will live for a few more minutes until Corki comes back and tries to take it once again. He does have the Manamune. Now I'm looking for the like 23 and between 23-27 minute mark for it to get stacked. By that time, Rimtulis should try and get a Trinity Force, and after that, Corki will be a real beast, with also a chance of being an even bigger one once he gets the Infinity Edge and that Rapid Fire Cannon. Lola procs the Sky's Bloom, sees Iron on the map, but Evelyn is behind him, and Lola will face check the bush with Evelyn. Real will land the Q, land the E, land the ult, and that will be a pretty easy kill for this Evelyn. Now when he got shut down, he lost a pretty good amount of his magic stacks, so with this kill he only has 5, but he's still pretty strong, and he can kill everybody besides maybe this one in the game.
Yeah, Evelyn having a pretty insane amount of burst. On the other hand, Azir wants that Banshees. The Banshees are going to get removed so easily, so I'm not quite sure if that's the best choice, but then again, he doesn't really have that many options. Chaffee clean up order 2. Meanwhile, the Crab Falls in the bottom. Raider Dragon just spawns, so we might see a fight. I like the Herald play mid, just because they can, if they see Kenty just full on engaging for the Dragon, they can just try to get maybe even 2 turrets mid lane, but they just want to fight Chaffee, even though Nautilus ult pretty bad.
Yeah, Nautilus did use his ult, and Blindboy now is tanking this Kalista. Ran stacks. I'm waiting for the E from Kalista, and that will be 2 kills for Mtulis. Wants to chase down Chaffee. Not a really good idea. Ash is there as well as the Elise. Azir also coming with... could have ended up with Emperor's Divine Bee used to kill the Corki. Chaffee now in some problems, and Ionis will be unstoppable. Second item. Runa's Hurricane and the completed Blade King, which means this Kalista is completely strong right now. She also has the Halo Blades. Ran stacks will be stacked pretty fast, and the Ionis will secure the second Drake for his team with Real and Iron. Good fight in the mid lane. Herald did not take the mid lane turret. They did take 2 kills there and also got the Drake. Kenty looking as a pretty good team so far. They do have almost a 7k gold lead. Smackler wanting to fight Mr. Freeze here. Taunt into Flash, and Dash can probably be dead, but with Ingo being present here, Smackler is not trying to actually take the kill against the infamous bot lane. Iron and Ionis are here, so maybe he can actually try, but Rinaldo's being at 50% HP. No Flash, no stopwatch, and Drago's Stomplit being on cooldown. It's pretty risky for them to actually try something. Rimtulis, I'm not even sure if he actually dodged that cocoon pretty well, or Chaffee just aimed at me. I'm not really sure, but that was a pretty low Afro cocoon from this Elise, and even if it landed, like, nothing would happen there, so doesn't really matter if he hit it or not. But Kenty do have a pretty good gold lead so far, and Corki has the stacked Muramana. 20-minute Muramana is pretty impressive, but also he's playing Corki. First buying Manamion definitely is good for him, and stacking it is pretty easily. Blindboy now, a lot of magic resist for him, but definitely 1 Negatron Cloak will be enough, and the CC that he has with the Q will be enough for him to listen, not to catch up to him. With Trinity Force not being finished for the Corki. Blindboy is not that easy of a target to kill. But Evelyn is there as well. Maybe they can try and dive there. If he lands the charm, if he lands the ulti, Blindboy can get easily killed, and also Real can reset the turret. Focus there. Rintulis not gonna land those rockets. He's trying to poke with rockets to try and take down Blindboy as low as possible for Real to take the kill, but now Rintulis has only 1 rocket. That's a big one, and after that he will have to wait for 7-8 more seconds to actually try and kill this Ornn. Ornn dashing into this Evelyn. She did land the charm, and now the taunt will also be hit from Smackler. Ornn no chance at surviving, even though Flash was used, but Team Infamous wants to counterplay with the Baron. On the other side of the map, Iron does have the Stand United to be used, and Shen is coming into this Baron pit. No TPs on the side of Kenty. Now Corki is not there, but Ionis is dominating. He can take every single kill in this fight. Definitely not gonna be focused on by Infamous, and he will take his 2nd kill. Maybe Mr. Freeze can be the 3rd one. Smackler doesn't have the taunt. Ionis has to be careful here. Mr. Freeze will find the shutdown there, but Real manages to find the charm, and that will be an ace for Kenty. Only guy dying there is the Kalista, but Rintulis does have the inhibitor turret in the bot lane.
That was a beautiful cross-map play here by Kenty, getting that Shen ultimate, using it to rotate with the Nautilus, engage on the Baron pit. And they knew on the other side, again, if Ornn is not there, if they start the Baron, they have nobody to tank it, so it's going to be quite easy to actually pick up the frags here, rather pick up the kills, and just make sure they win the fight. So this is very smart by Kenty. Originally, I thought it was strange they're forcing the bot fight when they don't have 2 teleports. Yeah. But again, Shen ult, Nautilus, and there is nobody to tank Baron. They need Ornn to be there in order to rush Baron, or they need to be level 18 and full build, so they don't really have to worry about losing too much health. But like this, we saw a Dredgeline, Kalista, Q, basic attack, Ian. That was enough for a Karma to just completely disappear. Elise 165, very squishy. The Rylai's Crystal Scepter not doing much either. Kenty right now on a good path to victory, and on the other side, they're honestly not too happy about the result of this one, but I'm not really sure how they can even come back to the game. At least when she falls behind, once she falls behind, she ends up being quite bad. Azir scales nicely, but again, that Banshee is not going to do all that much for him. Ash has the Muramana, but so the Scorpion, he's 2 levels up. He can basically 2-shot her. Arrow isn't going to connect. Chaffee loses half his health, but Karma is dealt to here with the Athene's Unholy Grail. Iron running away from the spider, which I kind of understand. I mean, if I saw a spider, I would run as well. Thinking about potentially engaging, but Kenty just kind of calming things down. I mean, they have 2 Drakes. Third one is going to spawn. 30 seconds, you can just wait, grab it, and then potentially force a fight.
Tulis now has the complete Trinity Force as well as the Muramana. What? Why did he not land the last auto attack, and Tulis will be shut down? I mean, he does have the Stand United to stay alive for at least a few more seconds, will not get killed by the infamous side. Now, when the Elise flashes, the Corki will get killed, but now Slola will die, Dingo will die, Mr. Freeze can probably die. Real gets exhausted here, so he will not find a way to catch up to this Ash. Mr. Freeze will get the kill, but Ionis lands the spear that will be the quadra kill for the Kalista. And also with that ace on the side of Kenty, they can take the turrets. Baron buff is not in their hands. They have to go back to take it, but they can go and take the inhibitor in the mid lane, maybe rotate bot as well to take it, and then go for the Baron. Chaffee is respawning in 5 seconds, Blind Boy in 5 as well. So Kenty will probably not complete the inhibitor in the mid lane, but with both inhibs in the mid and in the bot being completely open, they can go for the Drake, go for the Baron, and with destroy inhibitors they can end this game pretty easily. Ash got the stack Muramana right now, goes for the Death Dance, but still not enough money for her to complete the item. Kalista with the Squadra kill, with the Drake, with the turrets. Once Ionis recalls, the item will be completed for him, and then he can try and start building the 4th one. We will see which item that will be. I mean, with the cleanse, he can ignore buying the QSS, but also with the cleanse being on cooldown, QSS can be a good option for the Kalista, and also he will get a few more lifesteal on his stats. Real finds the combo on Dingo, but Devlin ulti was on cooldown, so Karma was not able to die here. Well, at least now. Yeah, that will be a no QSS build for Kalista. At least for now, he did get the first BF sword of his game, and another Vamp Scepter, which means Ionis goes for the Bloodthirster. Getting the blood will give him more lifesteal, that passive shield from the Bloodthirster, and if he does have the overheal, which, if I'm not wrong, he doesn't. So Bloodthirster shield with the Mountain Soul shield. Honestly, a pretty good Kalista to deal damage, and a pretty hard Kalista to kill as well. Ionis so far 11, 1 and 8. Rintulis also pretty close to the Infinity Edge. Iron manages to find the knock-up on 2 guys. Ulti will be used on this Elise. In the backline, Rintulis is gonna be focused down, but the Blind Mover Real did actually get killed without taking anybody on the dash timer from the side of Infamous. That Elise will be killed, and now Kalista can actually try and kill them all. Corki will take one. Kalista once again taking the quadra in this game. Ionis finds his 15th kill of the game, and now with the Infamous team being good death timers for the next 30 seconds, Kenty can try and secure the first win of the Baltic Masters.
This was a beautiful, finally Kenny grabbing that win, 0-5, and now they're gonna be 1-5. Eon is doing so much work on the Kalista, 15, 1 and 9. His 2nd quadra of the game. This was quite beautiful, Michko. Miracles do happen.
Yeah, maybe we should have trusted them today instead of yesterday, but once again the Kenty will take another kill on this Elise as they secure their first victory of the Season 5.
As Sina said, miracles seem to happen, and that's today. I think we wanted it to happen yesterday, as two of them voted for Kenty. They wanted a miracle for them, and they would have been right. But as you saw, it's today that Kenty wins. It was you who voted for them, and it was 71% on the side of Kenty, and it seemed that they've saw the vote and won their first game. We'll talk about what happened in this game. Were Kenty that good, or Team Infamous made a lot of mistakes? With Michko and Sina, of course. Guys, what happened in this game? We saw Kenty here. It seemed like what? It seemed like a transformed team. It seemed like they slept overnight. They woke up and they're like, okay, we're gonna play some League of Legends now.
Yeah, this was a pretty good performance from Kenty. I mean, we saw like a different version of Kenty, more aggressive jungler, dominating bot lane, top laner not getting to pick Cannon. Finally, that happened. And also, on the other hand, we did have a like really poor performing side of Infamous. They did find a way to punish the Corki in the early game by taking his flash. After that, they ganked him 2 times, but still with the lead they got, nothing happened on the map. So honestly, I don't want to like take this away from Kenty. They did do a good job, but definitely I expected more from Infamous in this game. The game was definitely completely exciting. I mean, Kalista getting 15 kills in this game in 2 quadras. Who doesn't find this exciting at all?
Yeah, and Sina, I think during the game, you said her name like 70 times. How when she falls back, it's really hard to come back. And it's Elise. Do you think that pick was not meant to be there? And what happened with her? What happened with that player? Once he fell back, it seemed like he, just as you said, he can never come back, and his impact in the game we didn't really see.
Well, exactly. If you're playing Elise into the Evelyn, you need to do something. You're either going to invade her when she's pretty low in her own jungle early on into the game, or you're going to just try to play a very gank-focused jungle style to just try to compensate for the fact you're not scaling as well. If you just try to power farm into the Eve, she has a lot of AoE with the Talisman as well. She's going to sustain rather well, so her full clear is not going to be all that bad. She's going to get to level 6, and then all of a sudden you have to buy controls, you have to be careful about all the burst that comes in. Meanwhile, you're just playing an Elise and hoping you land the stun, and then hoping your teammates get the kill because you're falling off that hard. And it was the first skirmish around the Raptor area that actually cost them quite a lot, because again, if you're playing Elise, you cannot afford to lose at level 3 or level 4.
Yeah, it seems like they knew that they couldn't afford to lose, just as you said. But how did this Elise pick come from? Where did it come from? I mean, we already saw an Elise being played in Baltic Masters, and it was like the whole team was carried by Elise. Was the idea here also to get carried by Elise, or Kenty had another agenda?
That was Evelyn, just to correct you.
No,
that was
Elise.
No,
Evelyn.
That was Evelyn. But yeah, the Evelyn pick was played actually by 5 Kings, so I was kind of surprised to see the pick going for Kenty, because we didn't see like any aggressive play style from them except the cannon flashing into 5 people and trying to hit the slicing maelstrom on 5 guys. Besides that, like, yeah, I didn't expect the Evelyn to get picked, but they do have the new jungler for today, so maybe this guy is like an aggressive beast, wants constantly to fight with enemies, and he wanted to play the Evelyn. And again, as Sina said, Elise was kind of desperate to make something happen. Kalista can one-shot the Elise in the late game. Also, Evelyn can like kill anybody besides the Ornn. Corki scaling magnificently, so Elise was like forced to try and find something on the map, but you cannot find ganks in the bot lane when you're playing against Kalista and Orlus, which is a pretty dominant bot lane. Duo, you cannot gank the Corki because he does have the Valkyrie, and even besides that, Elise got 2 kills in the mid lane, which like didn't do anything for Infamous. So yeah, Elise kind of looked desperately to find something, which wasn't actually that good for her. But Kenty, yeah, this was like a miracle game from them. We've seen. If I try to like find good things in Kenty's 5 games that they lost, I couldn't find enough to actually like say that those games were better. I mean, this was a completely good game, and if we count like the good plays, it was awesome.
It's all in this game.
Corki was constantly in the side lane, and the Baron play as well was pretty good. Diving the Ornn, rotating to the Baron, getting the Ace, getting the Inhib, getting the Baron, ending the game.
Yeah.
Like they stomped Infamous in every single lane.
Yeah, when we were doing the intro to the game, I asked you if they have a chance to win. It seemed like they took the chance and won the game. And Sinai is Michko said that he didn't want to take away a win from Kenty and take away good plays, but could it be because they play against Infamous that they were playing really good, or could we see as from this point of view, are they doing something in the team that's making them play good? Are they communicating better? And I've got an info that we're gonna talk to Ionis. We can ask him the same question directly and give us an exclusive. Ionis, congratulations on your first victory, and hello from the studio.
Hello, thank you.
I must ask you, how do you feel after this first victory? We cheered for you, we rooted for you guys yesterday, but you still lost the game. But now you come on top, and you gave us the victory. And we saw that the audience was on your side. It was 71% on the Instagram vote. How do you feel after this?
Yeah, thanks. It feels nice to win finally.
Yeah, true. Your draft, that Evelyn, and it was a bit more an aggressive draft. Did you guys plan on doing this to Infamous, or this is something we're gonna see more occasionally from you guys?
I think we tried to play too much passive in earlier weeks, so right now we are trying to play more aggressive. Yeah.
And how did you feel after that first quadra? Did you think that you're gonna make 2 quadras in one game?
No. It feels really nice. Yeah.
And is Kalista something that we're gonna see from you more, since it turned out to be really good, or it was picked because of the opposing draft?
No, I think Kalista is pretty good right now, so probably we're gonna play it more. We'll see if enemy team will ban it.
Definitely. Only thanks, and enjoy the first victory in the Baltic Masters.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Well, we just heard it seemed like he lost his words because they won the first game, and well, seems like Kenty is waking up. You think Kenty can finish higher on the scoreboard than the Infamous?
Well, if they perform good enough, maybe they can try. I mean, the top 4 definitely didn't prove us that they're like indestructible.
Yeah.
Nobody can win against them. And now with this win, they only need like 2 wins more to reach top 4.
Yep.
With some teams like actually losing the games. They have still to play like every single team in the top 4. If they take a win in some of those games, yeah, top 4 is definitely not something that they cannot reach so far, but they will still have to like improve, play even more better than this. We'll see.
Yeah, it would be crazy if we saw Kenty on the top 4. Wouldn't you think so? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our first game of the night. Of course, as you already know, we're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to see Iron Wolves in 5 Kings. We talked about this game. It's getting interesting, guys. Stay tuned. After the short break, we're gonna head into our second game of the night. It's gonna be Iron Wolves trying to take down 5 Kings. Iron Wolves had some roster changes, and we're gonna see if that's enough to take out the Kings. Of course, before the game, we're gonna talk about what can we expect here. A little introduction with Michko and Saina. And guys, this is the game that we've been waiting for, I think, today. Okay, there's still a third game left. That's also a really interesting game, but this one, Iron Wolves, that showed us yesterday that they're really into this, and that it seemed like everybody found their place. And now their roster seems and looks really good.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like the Galio pick because like we're seeing Saulius playing Galio. Like that's something that we also get to see like maybe in Let's when Reckless was being forced to play Syndra, Soraka, Karma, something like you don't want to see like people that are great mechanically play something that is not that actually mechanically relevant, and Galio is not something I want to see on Saulius, but yeah, it's a good synergy with their top laner. This one did say that he likes to play the split pushing champions. Around the split pusher, you have to find a good comp to play around it. Either you go for the good disengaging so he can go split push 24/7, or you go for the Galio so he can get some support from his mid laner. So tactically, not a bad idea, but I still want to see Saulius playing something that can actually carry the game for himself instead of relying on his top laner.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and see the lineups of these two teams, Iron Wolves and 5 Kings. Iron Wolves with a couple of adjustments here. It's Deathron, Agentas, Saulius, Yashiro, and Javieles. And on the side of 5 Kings, Onios, Focus, Tibor, Lakinter, and Patharik are on the side of 5 Kings, the team that haven't been beaten so far. You think that here Iron Wolves stand a chance? We saw just Kenty take a win, but do you think that this is the game where Iron Wolves are gonna show how can they play against 5 Kings? They had Team Infamous yesterday, and we discussed that they couldn't show us what this roster was all about. Do you think this is the game that is gonna show?
Well, potentially. Looking at their game against 5 Kings earlier on into the Baltic League, we saw them actually crushing early game. They had a huge lead, then they just ended up throwing it. So I feel like, considering they were the only team that can actually stand a chance in the early game, now that they actually have a jungler in the jungle and AD carry in the AD carry role, I feel like scaling up isn't going to be that much of an issue, because now you don't have a Talia, you have an Aphelios, or you have any AD carry that basically can actually carry you throughout the game, maybe even Twitch, who knows. But I feel like right now, these are the 2 strongest teams in the Baltic Masters. My prediction, I can say this freely, is I think these 2 teams will go and represent the Baltic region in the EU Masters. Of course, I like jumping the gun. For those of you that don't know me, I just love calling out predictions early on. But honestly, from what we've seen, these are the 2 best teams. The only question is who's better, and honestly, by how much. That is exactly what I'm going to be looking at this game.
Mitchell, do you think it's on one hand not really good for 5 Kings that they didn't play against the Iron Wolves that we saw yesterday? They played against Fizz, they played against some crazy picks, but they didn't play against the meta picks. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what kind of play style can they expect from Iron Wolves. Of course, they could have watched the demos and games and rewatched the stream, but does it favor here the Iron Wolves this match?
Probably. I mean, yeah, they can always like go back to the standard meta picks, and 5 Kings, they so far like banned mostly things that are being played in the meta, so it's not really necessary for them to actually like try and counter ban the complete Iron Wolves team. Maybe they will go for the ban on the Jax, because we've seen it yesterday from Infamous. Yeah, they banned the Jax, but you ban the Jax, you can play against the Camille, you can play against Rinda, you can play against Fiora, you can play against anything else. Like, Jax is not the only split pusher in the game, so I'm not really sure if they will like go for the Jax, Camille, and everything else from their side by banning, but maybe like more meta picks. But also the problem is that Tibor did play the Veigar, who is not meta pick as well, so
if you get something really good, we're gonna see a good game here. What's the votes, guys, here? What's the predictions? Who do you stand
hardest one
on
so
which
far.
side?
Yeah,
hardest one.
definitely the hardest one. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the Kings. But I'm looking at a like 51-49 game here.
Still calculated, Mitchko here. And you?
I'm actually going to go for Iron Wolves.
Ooh,
Still
nice.
on the Salyus
I
hype
love
train.
this.
He
I
played
love
good,
this.
and I like when we disagree
Yeah.
because it just makes the desk more fun. So yeah,
Yeah,
Iron
that's
Wolves.
true. And we're gonna see how you voted on Instagram profile. Baltic Masters, click on the story and vote for your favorite team. It's 72% Iron Wolves and only 28 for 5 Kings. It seems like audience loves the underdogs today. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our, again, short introduction to the game. We'll see if Iron Wolves have what it takes to take down the 5 Kings. Stay tuned, we're going into the Champions Select.
Now listen, fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Whoa! 50 million souls live in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down a reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Yeah, bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
Back to the potentially most exciting game. I'm going to even say of the split until the playoffs. So this is going to be quite fun. Let's see what both teams can do. Let's see if 5 Kings can stay on their throne, or will Iron Wolves actually, go in for the D-throne. And speaking of D-throne, split pusher, insane. In those one-on-one situations, and again, mechanically, his champion pool as well is so fun to watch. Overall, I just think it's a player that, we don't have a player to watch here, but he would definitely be my player to watch, even next to Salyus, which is, I feel like, saying a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't seen like any team so far being played like with those picks for the split pushing or anything around it. Maybe something that actually counter picks the split pushers. Iron Wolves, yeah, with the ban on the Shen, they can go for the Camille, go for Jax, go to something that can actually stomp the top lane. Also with Tibor being on the side of 5 Kings as maybe so far one of the most dominant mid laners in the league. I'm not really sure if you want to give Salyus, LeBlanc, Syndra something to actually give him a chance to carry the game, because yeah, this from so far he has not been challenged on the top lane that much. Onias, yeah, he does play a pretty good top lane champs, but the most problem is he's usually playing that Shen, and now he's banned. We can see maybe from his side Ornn or something else, but I like the ban side from 5 Kings. Jax and the Fiora, as already said, if you want to ban Jax, you maybe want to ban something else, but now Camille is open, Tryndamere is open, Renekton can go on the side lane. A lot of things are left open for the top lane, and they do like this first pick from Iron Wolves. They will take Focus's Graves.
Yeah, I think that was quite good against us. Can't actually wait to see his Graves. Meanwhile, I feel like this is a little bit of a BM. I doubt that's going to be locked in, but 5 Kings saying, yeah, we know you like playing these weird heroes, sure, pick Tryndamere at us, but I think Iron Wolves, it's very actually tricky for them, because if they wait until the second ban phase or draft phase rather to pick their top laner, they might run out of options. Not entirely, but I believe Camille is going to get banned. We've already seen that. Yeah. And then 5 Kings should just pick up something like Malphite that stacks up armor. You're not going to be able to go for a Tryndamere or something like that, at least not early on into the game. Really a sweet Lulu. I do love this. I think it's a very good combo. You do have the scaling, you do have pretty decent laning phase as well. And of course, Iron Wolves, they might not have a tank, but having a Graves with the Lulu, it's going to be frontline enough.
Yeah, the only thing I do not like about Lulu in this matchup is like playing against Carmen Desert in the laning phase. The poke will be pretty strong. Yeah, Evelyn is an answer for Graves. Not really sure if it worked that well, but Focus, yeah, he did say that he will definitely go for the Evelyn more than once in this season if that is being forced from his side. In the first time he played the Evelyn, it was definitely against the Iron Wolves, so maybe it can work pretty well. Irelia is gonna get banned, and probably the Camille as well. On the other side, Iron Wolves go for the Poppy Malphite.
Why?
They're like legit forcing him to play that Camille. Maybe they have the counter pick for it. I would love to see that. And yeah, Twisted Fate, that could have been a good option for the Camille. Play it in the mid lane, ulti top lane, and Yasuo hover. Well, like we don't see a legit, not a single one knock up on the side of 5 Kings. So Vayne can be a good option, but Vayne as a blind pick for the mid, for the top, you basically gave an opponent to a chance to counter pick in there. Yeah, I said it. They can go for the Camille pick to actually steal it away from Iron Wolves. And now Wukong is open for the Camille. This will be a pretty interesting top lane matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Wukong can always just shoot his clone. As long as he saves the clone, he can just, you know, absorb the actual hookshot. But Iron Wolves thinking about the Renekton as well. And it's very dangerous picking a carry-style hero into a carry top laner that knows how to play it perfectly, because he knows what can counter him as well. Even though a lot of things are banned, Ori here, I would love to see that. Saulius is incredible on the hero. You get a dash to run away from the Evelyn. It's tough into the Camille, sure, but other than that, this would be if you're gonna play Ahri, this is the time.
Yeah, I mean, Tibor's champion pool so far has been Syndra and Veigar. Ahri is good against mostly both of those champions. He can use the Spirit Rush to dash away from the cage. You can also land the charm pretty easily. Even like if Veigar tries to spam you with spells, you can still land the charm. Nunu, please, please. I mean, into LeBlanc, it's a complete garbage pick, to be honest, but I just want to see Nunu that much that I have to be hyped every single time that it's being covered.
Nope.
I know,
I mean,
I know it's a nope, but I still want to believe it. Yeah, Veigar, definitely better option, and I'm not really sure why Saulius went for that LeBlanc. I mean, LeBlanc, yeah, it's a good pick for Saulius. He does play a pretty good LeBlanc, but you're playing against Veigar. Doesn't matter what you do, you will get spammed with Q, W, ult, you're gonna die as LeBlanc instead, unless he goes for like a Banshee's Veil, but even Banshee's Veil will not save him that much. It will block one of those free spells, but definitely not enough. Ahri is definitely a better option, in my opinion. You go for the Glacial Augment Keystone, go for GLP, land the GLP, land the Charm, and that's probably gonna be a dead Veigar. Everybody else on the side of 5 Kings can die that easily, except maybe for the Evelyn and the Camille. Camille, yeah, she can one-on-one Ahri pretty easily. Evelyn can run away with the ult, so maybe those two guys cannot die, but killing Ezreal will be easy, killing Karma will be easy, killing Veigar can be really easy, and Veigar, honestly, not that strong in the laning phase. At the start, in the beginning of the match, he doesn't have enough stacks, doesn't have enough AP, so he cannot kill Ahri that easily. And one charm, one Q into Ignite auto attack, Ahri can easily kill anybody in the lane.
Yeah, we're gonna see either way. I'm kind of excited to see Saulius playing that Veigar, especially with the fact, you know, there's a lot of people on the other side. He can just completely one-shot if he gets a good flanking. Also, face checking for Evelyn is gonna be very dangerous, because if he face checks into the LeBlanc, that's gonna be a very dead Evelyn, most likely, before he can even throw his ult out. So overall, I think it's still an interesting pick, and I still feel Saulius, you know, he has something to prove. After losing last game to 5 Kings, I believe the entire crew of Iron Wolves want to prove that they are actually better, they can perform better, and we're gonna see. I mean, it can happen. You lose once, you make a mistake, but losing twice back to back, that would be quite weird. Here we can see the runes of the heroes as well. So far everything is pretty standard. LeBlanc rocking that Mana Flow Band and Transcendence. Transcendence being a very popular rune as well, just because it lets you itemize in a more versatile way without having to worry about overstacking on CDR and actually wasting the stats. You get the adaptive stats, the appropriate adaptive stats. Ezreal as well, absolute same thing. Pretty much everybody else. Karma going for the Scorch for a little bit more lane pressure into Lulu. Don't think it's necessarily bad. Either way, it's going to be quite a fun game. As I said, I feel like both teams want to prove something here. 5 Kings, of course, that it wasn't a coincidence. The Iron Wolves going for that late invade against Zitron Saulius. Everybody going for that red buff. Onions doing a good 200 damage poke here on Gatas and Ditron, but it doesn't seem like they're going to contest this.
Quick question. Camille with Grasp of the Undying. Focus. Ooh, he found good amount of damage onto the Agantas. He got a level 2 as well, but not enough damage for Agantas to die. Tibor also has a level 1 Vaegir. If they both flash onto the Graves, maybe they can take the kill. Saulius does have the Corrupting Potion, so more damage without attacks. Ooh. I was really hoping that Distortion could actually land. Electrocute would proc there, and then Tibor would lose a fair amount of damage. Health. Honestly, Grasp of the Undying Camille, she does damage in the late game. Doesn't matter if she has PTA, if she has Conquer, if she has Grasp of the Undying, but against the Renekton, yeah, you hit the Grasp of the Undying, you get a little bit more tanky, and later on when you get the Hydra and the Trinity Force, doesn't really matter what you have. The only problem with the Grasp build is maybe the lack of healing because of no Conquer and the lack of that Adaptive Force, but still, honestly, it can look pretty well for Onios in this matchup. So far, Tibor is gonna get demolished from Saulius with these trades, but as expected from LeBlanc, it is a pretty good champion for the early game. Yoshiro doing pretty good amount of damage from Patarek, enforcing the flash on the Karma. Not really sure why. Honestly, Patarek, he wasn't in that big of a danger against Yoshiro and Saviels, but Lykinter also had his heal. Not really sure if they actually could have gotten the kill onto that Karma, but now that Patrick doesn't have his flash, maybe Agantas can show up in the bot lane and try to play something around it. Onios still winning every single fight against this Renekton. This run, yeah, he does land the full combo, he does land a good amount of damage onto the Camille, but if Onios finds a way to out-attack before getting stunned, then he has the bonus damage shield, which will block like legit 50% of damage this Throne's rotation does. So for Onios, it's really important for him to actually stay into those trades, hit the auto attack before getting stunned, and then he doesn't really care if Renekton will land every single thing onto him or something less than that. Saulius found the TP, and this was an idea. TP into mid lane, use the distortion, find an auto attack. Tibor now, if he wants to recall, he will lose a fair amount of CS. Top laners did recall. Renekton got the second Dorn's Blade. Onios goes for the Call and the Rejuvenation Bead, but Camille did save her TP. And Renekton wanted to come back to the top lane with his TP focus. Maybe into duel with Agantas. Saulius will find the chain. This looks as a first blood for Iron Wolves. Focus completely thrown away from his jungle. That will be the first blood for Iron Wolves. Onios now might have been in some problems. This one is level 5, so no bonus HP for that Renekton. If he lands the stun, Onios will be in some problems. He did find the hookshot on the Saulius, but bonus damage is coming in from the LeBlanc, from the Graves. This one will not die, as well as Saulius. Iron Wolves take 2 kills on the upper side of the map and some plates as well on that turret. Yoshiro forces the Ignite onto this Karma. Now let's see if they can take the kill. They are pretty more healthy than Karma and the Ezreal, but they didn't want to finish with this fight on the bot lane. Focus coming in the meantime, and the pings are gonna be used from the Iron Wolves directly around the Tribush, so they are expecting this Evelyn to show up in the bot lane. Now let's see if Focus can actually do something there.
Yeah, honestly, well played by Iron Wolves here. This is exactly how you play into the Veigar. You know he has literally no pressure mid, and you just move your mid laner into the enemy jungle. You abuse the enemy jungler, because Veigar is a hard scaling pick. Same goes for Evelyn. Focus wants to gank, but Graves is there. They're gonna spot him and just back off immediately. I feel like Graves realized what's going on a little bit too late, but either way, Iron Wolves again showing how you play versus the Veigar. Evelyn still wants to fight, as it seems.
Yeah, TP coming in from this Veigar. Now let's see what Tibor can do. Evelyn is gonna get Sissy locked here, and Yashiro will take the kill. That will be the Agantas, but now Patarek is gonna die again. 3-0 Graves. In the meantime, teleport in the mid lane was stopped from Saulius. Eternal Chains did stop this Veigar from coming in for the bot lane, and now Saulius lands another chain onto Veigar. Tibor is level 6, Saulius is not, so it will be hard for Saulius to actually take the kill onto Tibor, but when he gets level 6, double distortion into Sigil of Malice, Eternal Chains combo, Tibor will die against Saulius. This front trying to fight against the Onions. He is a level 6 Renekton against the level 5 Camille, so bonus HP is there, ulti is there for him to actually stack the Fury faster, which means Onions cannot actually try and fight here. He will run away from the Renekton and Saulius and waiting for the level 6 on the LeBlanc. It's here. Now let's see what Saulius can do against Tibor. I'm waiting for the distortion, Q, ulti, E combo. It will destroy Tibor, but yeah, Veigar does have the flash, so not really expecting Saulius to actually get a kill there unless Tibor wants to save the flash in that situation. But so far, Tibor with the Saulius rotation on the top side to get the kill, to get the assist. He did find some CS more in the mid lane so far. He does have the lead, but not that big of a lead, honestly. Only 2 CS head. Nothing specific for that Veigar. Dethrone got level 7, Onius is level 6. And even though Camille did start strong against the Renekton, kills on the top side, plates on the top side, gold going into Renekton's pocket definitely impacted this top lane a little. He does have 10 to 15 CS ahead, and also with the turret plate being destroyed in the top lane, now Dethrone recalled for the Vamp Scepter, so he is going for the Blade Roaring King. He will have some sustain in the lane, and after every single one fight that happens in the top, he will heal up with the Fury Q combo, with the auto attacks, and that Vamp Scepter. On the other hand, Onias only has the Call and the Rejuvenation bead so far, so for the Camille, not that much of a healing, which will make Onias pretty harder to lane against this Renekton so far.
Yeah, right now Wolves doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Now all that's left is to snowball the lead. Shiro is pretty strong already on a BF on the Aphelios. Yalis here walking up as well, hitting that slow basic attack on top of it as well. Agentas just got level 6, so that's going to be another option for the skip, potentially bursting an enemy as well. Right now, Iron Wolves, they do want to find the lead. The chain doesn't connect, and Tibor, he had the slow approach velocity activated as well, but he couldn't actually follow up. Saulius will be in trouble, has no summoner flash here, and he's stuck in the Camille ult.
Yeah, he's stuck in this cage, but will not be focused on that well. Lulu has the shield, and Graves will be shut down from the Tibor. He did use the ultimate ignite, will not be enough, got the level up at the perfect moment. Saulius waiting for the jump over the wall. Focus does have the Evelyn ulti, which means Saulius cannot kill him that easily, but maybe looking for Tibor. Didn't want to actually use the distortion. Now Xavielas can be in some problems. Focus manages to find the Q. He will be stunned here, and the Evelyn ulti will secure another kill for five Kings. A little bit of a misplay from Iron Wolves. Honestly, didn't expect this to happen. With Graves having 3 kills, LeBlanc being strong at this point of the game. I was expecting from them to actually take more kills here. Also, Ezreal and Karma both were on the bot lane, fighting only one Renekton. So Iron Wolves did have a one-man advantage at this point, but wasn't enough for them to actually win the fight. First kill for Tibor, first kill for Focus as well. Focus still lacks 700 gold against Agentas, but Tibor does have a slight gold lead comparing to Saulius. Still, that's a Glacial Augment Veigar, and I'm just waiting for the GLP to be completed, which actually happened. Now he's going for the Twin Shadows, and slows will be applied, after which skill shots can land much easier. Dethrone does have the Build Water Cutlass, so healing for him will not be the problem against Karma and the Ezreal, unless someone goes for the healing reduction items. Karma definitely won't be the one buying Moralnomicon as well as this Evelyn, but Dethrone probably gonna get dived by Focus. This is a level 6 Evelyn without ulti, which means that Dethrone cannot be killed that easily, but Lucky Ter will end through Shot Barrage, and they did not expect Evelyn on the bot side of the map. But nobody cares, because Iron Wolves do have the Herald on the topper side of the map. Agentas will slow Onions down with the smoke screen. He will do enough damage, but this hookshot will remove him out of danger. Anyways, Iron Wolves do win the fight for the first turret in the top lane. They can probably try and take down the second one as well, since the Shelly did charge onto the tier 2. So it's a fair trade for Iron Wolves. They lost the Renekton, they lost the bot lane tower, but they did take 2 turrets on the top side of the map, and all of those plates were shared between Yashiro, Xavieles and Agentus. Second Drake is gonna spawn in 1 minute, and this looks like a perfect option for Iron Wolves to swap their bot lane back onto the main lane and try to contest the Drake. They also have the first one, that Cloud has already been secured by Agentus, so if they take this Mountain Drake, they will be a little bit more tanky, and also one Dragon more away from taking that Soul. But Tibor will not land the ulti well enough on the Xavieles. Will survive after the wild growth he's gonna use, and also the shield did soak up some damage from the Veigar ultimate, and now Tibor, honestly, not that big of a waste, but also you use the GLP and the ultimate to try and kill the Lulu, and now when Dragon respawns, Tibor will not have any of those things to actually try and force a fight in favor of his team. This Throne has a good minion wave and also has a little bit more of attack speed with the dagger, so another turret plate will be destroyed in the bot lane. Saulius is a level 8 LeBlanc, lacking in level compared to 5 Kings' soul laner so far, but this looks like a dragon to me. Ezreal is still in the mid lane. He does have the True Shot Barrage to use from that soul lane, but definitely not gonna be enough. He will do some damage, but the dragon cannot be stolen away. Renekton TPing on the top side. Maybe he can try and kill this Camille, but not enough damage for him to actually try and do that now. Still, they did take a Drake. They did not lose anything on the map besides maybe that first top lane turret plate, which gave Onya's a bonus amount of gold as well as the Lucky Star in the mid lane. But Yashiro does have the Gravity Room, lands the stun, but I expected it to actually try and be used a little bit more earlier so they can try and kill this Ezreal. And the Karma so far, and Wolves do have only 100 gold lead. Expected more, honestly, but one turret ahead, 2 Drakes ahead. So far, looking pretty good.
Yeah, actually, the 100 gold lead is kind of in the shadow compared to the 2 dragons they have. 2 dragons closer to the Dragon Soul. Yashiro as well. It's going to be quite a while until he actually gets to his spike. Meanwhile, the hookshot is going to be interrupted here by Renekton. Detron once that solo kill, Linus has to flash over the wall to escape from the mighty Crocodile. Of course, the Bilgewater Cutlass along with the stun. Without your hookshot, you have no way to fight. And of course, Camille, only having a Phage isn't going to be all that strong. Focus will grab up the crab on the bottom side of the map, but still, I feel like Iron Wolves is playing a lot smarter now. I think, yeah, smart is probably the right word here. That's exactly what they're doing. They know when they're spiking. Aphelios is behind on the Ezreal. Ezreal has the perfect farm, so Macintor here doing so much work, but Aphelios needs that Infinity Edge Hurricane, and then he's gonna start doing an insane amount of damage, which again goes to show, after all the nerfs he has gotten in the patch 10-15, of course, he's gonna get nerfed even more, especially aiming at that Flamethrower Hurricane combo, as well as the range of the Chakram turret. Saulius is a little bit under-leveled, which you don't actually want as a LeBlanc, but still, if you can actually find a good combo, should be able to do more than enough. Ezreal as well, going for that Iceborne into LeBlanc can be a little bit dangerous just because he can pop you so easily, but Saulius doesn't have a single item. The mid laners, they are very far behind in terms of CS. And let's see how much can Saulius do without an actual item.
Yeah, we'll end the chain, but nothing else. This Throne is some problems against Tibor and Focus. No magic resist on the Renekton. He doesn't have the ultimate as well. He will flash away from this Evelyn, but Focus flashes forward, takes the Q, takes the E, and secures the kill with his ultimate. Tibor actually didn't do anything in this fight except landing the GLP slow, but Renekton did lose the flash, and he has died as well. Flash for flash, not that bad, but Renekton definitely needed more in the side than Evelyn to actually try and kill someone. Either way, Focus did get another kill for himself. Yeah, the problem for Iron Wolves so far is that Ezreal is now on 2 items. Onya's gonna get ganked again. Saulius will not land the chain onto this Camille, and Camille will use the ultimate to try and focus down the Graves. Definitely not enough for her to actually kill someone, but Patrick was there with the flash shield. And Onios will not die. Athene's Unholy Grail healing also was good enough for Onios to survive this situation. Saulius did not have the heal, I mean Ignite, because he did start with this game with the teleport, so no healing reduction from that Karma healing, and Onius will survive this 2v1. He did only waste his ulti in favor of Tuo, but Iron Wolf did not use any summoner spells, and now Onius, by being in the top side under his inhibitor, he cannot do anything about this Herald as well as the complete 5 Kings team. Iron Wolves do take the second Herald of the game, and the first one they actually used to take 2 turrets on the top side of the map. If they use it as well in the mid or in the bot, as good as they did in the first time, honestly, it's a good amount of bonus gold for the Iron Wolves, but so far they do not have anything on the map to actually try and do that. Top lane setup was pretty good, take the kill on the Camille with a 3 against 1 dive, now use the Herald, take 2 turrets, and it was very good. And now they don't look like the team that will make again 3 against 1 dive. On the bot side, Tibor is there alone, but so far not looking like that. Saulius will not land the chain onto Patarek, and Karma, fun fact, dealt more damage than LeBlanc. He will land the W as well, and revealing this, LeBlanc knows he will go again over the wall. Patarek really wasn't expecting to see Karma dealing more damage than LeBlanc, and now focus is gonna be CC locked down, Polymorph, so he cannot use anything. Saulius will survive thanks to the Wild Growth. This one trying to focus down this Camille, and he did a very good job. Tibor, he still has his ultimate, so anybody on the side of Iron Wolves can die pretty easily. Tibor uses the full combo. Onius is there with the Hextech ultimatum, soon coming from the cooldown. Patarek will get killed before doing anything. Two-shot barrage will not hit anybody on the side of Iron Wolves except the Drake, and I don't even know why they're trying to recall here. Drake is gonna be pulled out, but no smite for 5 Kings, which means Aganthus has to take this Drake. He will be locked down with the Hextech ultimatum, but this one is coming over the wall. TP is coming from Saulius as well. Tibor not getting the kill here. He will secure the kill on the Distron, but Saulius is coming with the distortion, finds the chains. No way for him to actually run away from Tibor, but Ignite will not do enough damage, or anything will not do enough damage for 5 Kings to actually kill this LeBlanc. Saulius is still not dead in this game, but the Iron Wolves did secure the 3rd Drake of the game. Now they need only 1 more to get the Ocean Soul.
Ezreal is doing so much work in these fights, but still they can't actually confirm anything. Tibor playing from behind, just scaling up a little bit, getting that crowd control as well. But on the other side, Renekton, Graves, all so strong in these fights. Yashiro actually created Karma a couple of times back to back there, which was pretty fortunate on his end. Of course, he does want a Hurricane. And as said, as soon as he gets the Hurricane, the effects of his guns triple, and then everybody is in a world of hurt. However, last hitting from Lankiter really puts you in a really, really good spot here. 19 minutes, 190 CS. This is one strong Ezreal getting the Vamp Scepter as well, so he's going to be that much stronger in extended fights. Focus, hoping to find some target setup position so he can use his burst, but once again, Saulius needs to be careful. He needs to find a way to get some solo farm. He needs to find a way to get some solo XP, because you cannot afford to be under-leveled playing into a Veigar. And even into the Ezreal, because Ezreal is going for Death's Dance, so once that happens, you're not going to be able to one-shot him either. And the whole problem with playing versus Ezreal when you're LeBlanc, when the Death's Dance comes, is that if you survive and he survives, you're both low. He's gonna lifesteal to full in a couple of seconds, and you're gonna stay low because you're LeBlanc, and the sustain is quite minimal.
Yeah, Lankiter's build also, I'm not really sure what he's going for. Macro Scimitar looks by far, but maybe we can actually look for the Hex Drinker. For Lakinter, as you already said, Gauntlet is not a specifically good item against the LeBlanc. Hex Drinker and Mama Mortius definitely can work against that mid lane assassin on the side of Iron Wolves, so I'm hoping for the Hex Drinker there from Lakinter, but Saulius, he's gonna try to catch this Evelyn. Third Chains will land, but Focus will ult away. Getting out of those range, and now Yashiro can poke down Lakinter even without being out of range, and he will land! He was about to land the ulti, but Lakinter will flash away, and now Tibor can shut him down with Focus. The cage did hit, and now Aganthus is CC locked by this cage, and now that's a second kill for 5 Kings. Another shot down going into favor of this Evelyn. 4-3-1 Focus, but Even if he didn't have the ulti, he got the kill, he got the assist, and now 5 Kings can try and take this Baron. Saulius is alive, but Yoshiro is dead. Dithron and Saulius, with the help of Savieles, have to contest this Baron unless they want to give it away. Definitely doesn't look like that now. Can Saulius steal this with the LeBlanc? Double distortion combo can actually do enough damage, and Baron is pretty low, 1500 HP. Baron is still alive, and Focus is not as well, but Lakinter manages to secure the Baron with this distortion. I honestly thought the Saulius will steal this away. He is in the Baron pit now, but doesn't find a single person here on the side of 5 Kings with the distortion. 1-for-1, but 5 Kings do have 4 people with the Baron buff. Honestly, after Focus died, I was 100% sure that this distortion from Saulius took the Baron. If I'm not wrong, 32 health was the number on Baron's buff's health bar before Lakinter used the final auto attack. But 5 Kings do take a small win here, and now they can actually try to, I don't know, win the fight, stall the game, whichever game plan for them is at this moment of the game. They will have the Baron buff for the next Dragon, which is definitely a good thing for them. Iron Wolves do want that 4th Drake for them to take the Ocean Soul, but on the other hand, 5 Kings definitely want to have the Baron buff and the upper hand for that fight. They are 2,000 gold lead ahead, which is pretty interesting, because Iron Wolves did look like a stronger side for the most part of this game. Now let's see what 5 Kings do with the Drake setup.
We're going to see 5 Kings set in a very good spot. Iron Wolves, they need picks, they need a way to delay this Baron, so Yoshiro can actually scale up and get the item, but 5 Kings, they know that, that's why they're pushing so heavily. We're going to get to tier 2 on the bottom side of the map. Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds, and the Ocean Soul should be quite good for Iron Wolves if they can reach it, but it's going to be quite difficult fighting up the Baron. Up team of 5 Kings who still are looking to find things. It's going to be a massive rule by Yoshiro. This was beautiful.
Yeah, this was pretty nice. Tibor did have the flash, so maybe there was a chance for him to actually dodge that, but didn't expect from Aphelios to actually land the stun, after which Graves takes the kill. Nice amount of damage coming in from the Aganthus ultimate. Now 5 Kings do have 4-man Baron buffs, but they do not have the 5th target here, and honestly, Veigar is the most damage-dealing person on the side of 5 Kings, so maybe this will not be an easy contest for them. Saulius can jump over the wall, here's the double distortion, Patrek will be forced to run away, and now Yoshiro can push them down with the flamethrower. 5 Kings honestly look like they lose this Baron, Dragon Soul, and that will be the 4th Drake for Iron Wolves. Healing applied now for the Wolves, and 5 Kings, if they want to reduce that, they will be forced to buy some healing reduction items. Definitely, I'm not really sure that anybody wants to buy these Executioner's Callings or anything else. Camille going for the Bramble Vest, not a good buy for Camille necessarily. Focus and Patrek both building a Moronomicon, not something you want to see onto the Evelyn or the Karma. And Lakinter as well. Yeah, Executioner's Calling can be a good item, but Mortal Reminder against the team that doesn't have a single tank can be a waste of gold, so 5 Kings will have a little bit of a problem every single time they try to fight against Iron Wolves. The amount of healing they get can cause some problems. Savieles will face check the bush, but Evelyn did not charge the W. Onios will try to find against the Renekton, and Dithron has his ultimate. It is popped, but Focus already deleted him. Saulius has TP'd in the bot side, but the cage from Tibor will not land good enough. Saulius now probably gonna be dead here. He does get the wild growth, but no distortion for him to actually run away. He used the chain, so if he wanted to use the mimic, it would be the chain again. No distortion for him means he will not run away, and Tibor did use the flash, did use the TP, but he got the kill. 2-for-0 in favor of 5 Kings, and now with the 3-man stack on the bot lane, they can try and take the turret.
Iron Wolves, I feel like they need to be careful not to lose the game entirely, so they use the Graves Ult, they clear the wave, but ultimately, even if you have to drop an inhib, it's better than actually dying and losing the whole game. You have the Soul. Soul is going to help you quite a lot with the Ezreal poke, so you don't have to worry about that. Yoshiro also has the Hurricane, so the damage is going to be there. Iron Wolves are not still in that horrible of a spot. However, 5 Kings are getting that scale up on Tibor. 3-1-5 on the Veigar, getting the death cap in a little bit. Pretty sure he has another nice large rod here. We're going to see when he recalls, but still, Veigar, when he gets the death cap, it's going to be very difficult for LeBlanc to do anything. Ezreal As you can see, he has that full Death's Dance, and yes, Veigar did get another needlessly. Ooh, Saulius, a very nice chain that's gonna connect the root as well, but it's their focus ulting away to survive. Saulius with a perfect example of how to use the red trinket on assassin heroes. Figure out where the enemies are and connect that hard CC, but still, this game honestly can go to anybody. I feel like one good fight, and that could potentially be the end of it. However, the Baron is not up yet, so I don't that much. Again, they're just going over the wall, not even thinking about who else might be there, but Veigar's full burst, and Agentas is like 70% health.
Yeah, Lulu is doing a pretty good job so far. I mean, it will be even better once she gets some more items, but Xavier can be focused down by Patrick Lakiter, and now here comes Donis. He will lock down the Yashiro with the Hextech ultimatum. 1-for-1 is the outcome of the fight so far, but Lakiter will secure the second kill for 5 Kings. TP coming in from D-Throne, definitely coming in too late. 5 Kings once again take 1 kill or 1 kill more against the Iron Wolves, and as you said, Iron Wolves do look like a stronger team at some point, but Global Gold is on the side of 5 Kings for the last like 10 to 15 minutes, and also every single time the fight comes out during the past 5 minutes, maybe 5 Kings every single time found a way to win it. Saulius needs more items, Aphelios needs more items, Yashiro does a fair amount of damage, but with the lack of life steal, maybe some defensive items, he cannot heal up or survive damage coming from Tibor, Focus, and Onios, as well as Lakinter. So he needs the Death's Dance, he needs the Bloodthirster, something like that, maybe even a Malmö Mortius, but so far he goes for the QSS and the long sword. Not really sure what he's going for, but the amount of damage and the defensive stats that he has will definitely not be enough. Lakinter doesn't have the Hex Drinker, and he does have the Death Dance. Saulius has to be careful. That will be a good amount of CC chain onto this Ezreal, but this will be a 1-for-1. Yashiro will be focused down about this focus, and Patrick will land the Qs. Not enough amount of slow, but Tibor can focus down this Lulu. Good amount of damage from that Veigar ultimate on is the backline with the hookshot, tries to find the Yashiro. They will kill each other, basically, but once again, 5 Kings take a kill more than Iron Wolves. Tibor and Focus, as well as Patrick, can try to take down this turret. There's not that big of a minion wave, but Graves and Renekton, they do pretty fair amount of damage, so they can actually try and fight here if they want to. So far it looks like Agentas clearing this wave, so the turret will not be destroyed yet.
Yeah, I still feel like Iron Wolves, they get kited so easily. D-Throne pretty much can't move in a fight. He has Trinity Force and Blade Running King, so he's hoping just gonna flash in somebody's face. Basic attack, W cancel with the blade, and just try to get the kill. If he uses his flash and Slice and Dice, there's no way he's walking up to anybody in the fight. Ezreal with the Iceborne being quite annoying as well. Execution is calling, and a BF sword next to his 3 items. Yashiro on the other side, only 2 damage items. And that Executioners, the QSS, is gonna come in handy, but still, he needs 1 more damage item to be able to match the Ezreal at least in these later stages of the game. 30 seconds still, the Elder Drake Focus wants to kill D-Throne. D-Throne has Mercs, but I do not think that's gonna be enough.
Yeah, he's 1 against 3 and definitely no chance for him to actually survive. Redemption is coming in from this Lulu, but too late. Only 2.5 seconds for Redemption to actually be applied on the map, and it takes even less than that for 5 Kings to take the kill on the Renekton, and this is a big problem for Iron Wolves. Once again, they did give away 1 kill more to 5 Kings, and now they can go for this Elder Drake. We see Iron Wolves, they will try to contest back by taking the Baron, but so far 5 Kings are being more dominating during the fight, which means that if they find a way to actually engage the fight, Elder Drake can help pretty much. Focus has his ultimate, has the smite. Let's see if he can steal this. So far that's not gonna happen, but Onius doesn't have the Hextech ultimate to lock down Saulius. Tibor will find a way to actually force the flash from Agentas. Onius still gonna follow up with the hookshot. Agentas will be dead. Elder Drake is doing his business, and now Lakinter is here. If he finds the Q, Chaveles will be dead probably. Mystic Shot with the Gauntlet will apply the slow, but will not hit the Qs, which means only Graves will die here. And again, Iron Wolves are now the team with more Baron buffs. Focus gonna get hit by the Turtle Chains. The stun will land with this Renekton. I'm not really sure why this one used his ulti here, but Saulius did get the shot down. Still, this is a LeBlanc with 1.75 items, if I can call it that. Oblivion Orb into Nisl, large draw. Honestly, I expected more from this LeBlanc in this game. But with Baron Bass being alive on Iron Wolves, maybe this can still be like a way to stall the game. With the Baron minions, 5 Kings will not push that easily. So they can look to survive here. Saulius, he will get hit by the Thrushal Barrage, but the other remaining combo from the Ezreal hit the clone. Elder Drake is still on the side of 5 Kings, and let's see what Onios can do. Hextech ultimatum is there, but no range to actually jump onto Saulius.
5 Kings, so Saulius needs to be really careful about what he's doing. Tibor.
Flash Q, he wanted to deal the damage, so the other Drake can secure the kill, but not enough. Still, they got the Veigar Flash. Not really sure how much that will impact the next fight, but yeah, summoner less on the 5 Kings carries. Cage will end. Yashiro forced to use the QSS, and now turret is destroyed. 5 Kings. These Baron creeps will definitely slow down the push, but they do have the damage as well as the dragon to help them in this push. In the next fight, maybe the inhibitor in the bot side is destroyed, and now they can rotate back to mid.
I see 5 Kings moving towards the mid lane. Iron Wolves still cannot find anything. Yashiro, his QSS does have to be careful. He does have EKX Drinker. That's going to help him a little bit. But still, if he gets caught in the cage, this is what happens.
Yeah, and Chavalis will die as well. Elder Drake has worn off, but his Lulu is still not dead. Double kill for Focus. Amazing. Evelyn ulti. Now let's see what Saulis and Aganthus can do. Doesn't look like they can do much. Aganthus will be the 5th guy dying here. 5 Kings take the ace. 3 guys remain alive. Ezreal, Camille, and the Karma. The first two will definitely be the most important ones for 5 Kings to win this game. They do have a pretty good minion wave, nobody to protect the Nexus, and 5 Kings still remain the only undefeated team in the league. They are 6-0 after week 3.
Five Kings still have their crown on their heads. This is their 6th victory in a row. Yeah, sixth victory in a row. I think these guys are on fire. It seems like no one can defeat them. Iron Wolves tried with these roster changes, but it didn't work out for them. We're gonna talk with Michko and what happened in this game. How did 5 Kings get this victory? Guys, it seems like Michko pointed out, I think at one point of the game, that it seemed like Iron Wolves were leading the game for a long time. Like half of the game it was Iron Wolves, and then where did 5 Kings come from? I mean, was it smart play? Was it patience? What was it from the 5 Kings that we saw today?
Well, we can say that it's like everything, a little bit of all of that, because they did lose the top lane turrets, and in fact 2 of them. They did give the kill on the Camille. Didn't start that well in the mid lane either. I mean, Tibor was killed and was a little bit behind Saulius, but bot lane was actually not doing anything. Ezreal was stacking the tier, was getting free farm. Mid lane also, Tibor, after that 1 kill that he gave to the enemy team, he was AFK farming bot lane and the mid lane, so he was pretty good. And Iron Wolves, yeah, they did take more objectives, more turret, they did take more drakes, they did take more kills, but the farm wasn't there, and the global goal lead was actually in favor of 5 Kings since like 10-15 minutes of the game. Again, we've seen Iron Wolves like perform really good in the early game, and then 5 Kings coming back, which honestly wasn't really that expected, because on the side of Iron Wolves we did have the pretty good scaling of Aphelios, but Veigar and Camille as well as the Evelyn were probably better than Aphelios in these games, since they managed to win the game. But for 5 Kings, this is like one of the most important victories. Now they are 6-0, but besides that, they are also 2-0 against Iron Wolves. And for them to actually lose the first spot, other teams have to win 2 games with 5 Kings losing, and also in the matchups between themselves, they are 2-0, which means they will not play the tiebreakers.
Sanek, how was the draft phase here? Do you think the Iron Wolves got out-drafted and that's why they didn't win the game? Or it was more of a play and mistake thing?
I mean, I feel like the Camille was the MVP in the draft, considering that Iron Wolves banned Poppy. Poppy is normally pretty good into the Camille because you can just always cancel her hook shot, defensively or aggressively. And yeah, after that, they just, they took the Camille, they surprised them, Renekton was the answer, which worked out in the laning phase, but afterwards, Renekton just kept getting caught and kept dying over and over again. So yeah, but still, this MVP is actually going to go to the Ezreal for the sole fact of Ezreal was the one that kept his team alone in the mid game. Around the dragon fights, he was doing everything by himself. He maybe didn't get the kills, but this could have just as easily been 12-1 and...
Well, 70% KP is definitely pretty good. I mean, he didn't take the kills because he was playing with Evelyn and Veigar, who they did burst everybody down. But the Mystic Shots, poke, the wave clear, the pushing, everything was pretty good from Lakinter, and it was well deserved.
Would it work out if they had anything else than the Ezreal? Do you think if they picked any of the AD carry that they might have lost the game? Because you just said Ezreal kept them alive.
I almost think they would have lost, honestly. Especially that one dragon fight where his whole team is dying. Ezreal is 2v4, completely holding up the entire enemy team. So he did so much, and no other AD carry I feel like could have done that. Every other AD carry has to walk up, do damage, put himself in danger. Ezreal can just stand back, shoot the Mystic Shots, and just be more than fine. And again, he had perfect farm, 20 minutes, 200 CS. Everything was so on point. So even though the kills don't actually show it, he played almost a perfect game.
Yeah, and 5 Kings now show that they can even play that Evelyn again. And do you think that we are gonna see more of those it wasn't like a pocket pick since we saw an Evelyn being played here, but they seem to have a lot of different play styles and a lot of types of drafts that we can expect from them. Is that their key point, that they didn't lose them the game? That is it because they have 6-0? Okay, I just have an info. We're going to the interview. Sorry, Michko. Sometimes it happens. I think we have Onyos on the line, even though Ezreal was the MVP. We're going to talk with Camille. Onyos, congrats on your 6th victory in a row.
Yeah, thanks. I feel really happy.
And that Camille on the top, we just talked about how important of that pick was. Was it something during the draft that you come up with, or you usually play that Camille and it was something that suits you?
Well, I play Camille a lot in solo queue, but our team came to a conclusion that in draft that if we ban out a lot of the Iron Wolves top laners, and we take away Camille, then we will feel really good in drafts, and we will eventually outscale because he has no picks to answer into it.
And was that like from the beginning of the game? Was that your plan? We saw Iron Wolves getting those drakes. How did you feel at that moment, at that point of the game where you couldn't take the drake? Did you think that you might even lose the game?
I mean, in theory, we felt like it's really bad for them to get the drakes, but if we actually force the game when it comes down to Elder, we get it, the drag soul won't even matter. So it went naturally, and we actually felt pretty good, like getting everything.
And now that you won against Iron Wolves, it's 2-0 against Iron Wolves. Do you think there's some team that could endanger your 0-lose streak?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's not up to enemies to win versus us. I feel like it's on us.
Yeah.
So we feel if we actually play really well, so I think we won't ever lose.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see a team that didn't even lose one single game in the whole season. Onias, thanks for the interview, and wish you all the best in the coming up matches.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
We heard that. He said that at one point they do you think that those dragons, how much I mean, they had what, 4 dragons and they still lost the game?
Well, that's why I hate Ocean Souls that much. I mean,
Oh.
they got the soul, but they only got like a small amount of healing. And as he said, once the 5 Kings got the Elder Drake, nobody cared about the Ocean Soul. I mean, you heal a little bit, but once they poke you down for the Elder Drake to take the kill for me, then
Oh yeah,
you don't really need the healing.
that's where your Ezreal is good.
Yeah,
You
I
get
mean,
the Elder-
he lands 2 or 3 Mystic shots
Yeah.
and somebody's dead. And also with Veigar, with Evelyn, 1 ulti, 1 kill, Elder Drake worked pretty fine for them.
Yeah, and it seemed it was the plan from the start. Go late for the Elder Drake and then let the Elder do the job. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our second game for the night. We still have one more to go. So stay tuned after the show break when we come back.
I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling.
got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
Back, our last game, also an exciting one, since we're gonna saw two teams that have the same score on our scoreboard. It's gonna be just for fun, trying to take down the Vipers, the Cobras of the Baltic Masters. We're gonna go ahead and talk with Saina and Michko. What can we expect here? Cobras. It's a special ops team. Cobras. You know about Cobras?
Ah, so that's what you were going for in the last broad. Now I understand.
It's a special. Cobras are a special ops team. You know, they're trained and for like special things that policemen can't
Please
do.
stop! I'm hearing like
And
the
that's why-
production team laughing at
That's
you.
why, that's why they're Cobras. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. Okay. So just for fun, trying to take down the Cobras, or it's vice versa. Is it gonna be Vipers trying to take down the Cobra?
Vipers against the Cobras, the Pythons are going to show up as
or
well.
it's gonna be Vipers trying to take down just for fun. Who do you favor here, Michko? Who showed you the better plays here?
Well, just for fun, they did lose the first match against Estonian Vipers, and then they started like stepping up a
Yeah.
little. They did take some victories, but they did lose to 5 Kings. So maybe this is a moment where they like want to step up again after the lose, and maybe try to, if I can say it, like use the previous match result. Iron Wolves did lose, so the winning team here will go to the second place on the table. The losing one will remain in the third, fourth way tie, and then you will have to play like maybe the tiebreaker, maybe not. Depends of the result between the teams, but definitely want to avoid being fourth, and you do not definitely want to go into best of 5 against 5 Kings.
Definitely. And we're gonna go ahead and see the lineups of these two teams. We're gonna see who's gonna play on the side of Just for Fun and who's gonna play on the side of Estonian Vipers. Just for Fun, welcome Yanax, Domas, Cyrex, and Mercenary. On the side of Estonian Vipers is Kunings, Yoft, Jabuticaba, Ruff, and Suflex. This Estonian team showed us that they're also really an explosive team. They really can play these games. Saina, what can we expect draft-based? What are we going to see here? Are we going to see an aggressive play style from both teams, or do you think we're going to see one of the teams try to go into that mid to late game?
Well, I think Vipers are gonna actually go for the aggressive picks. Their echo was incredible, I must admit, once again. So yeah, overall, I think they should just go for the aggressive playstyle once again, because the early fighting actually suits them. They know how to actually get that lead early and transition it later. On the other side, just for fun, maybe a little bit more of a, not necessarily a passive draft, just something that can, hold its own until it scales up. But then again, we saw a lot of things, even the Camille being taken out of Detron. So, the preparations are certainly going to be here. Players know each other a lot better, so we can expect a more in-depth draft this time compared to the last couple of games.
Is this Mitchko, the point where you say when you played that team, you've learned how they play? Is this the match where Just for Fun can say, okay, we know how the Vipers play, or Vipers can say, okay, we know what Just for Fun is going to do, or Just for Fun? It seems like Just for Fun is like stepping up the game, evolving through the league. Do you think that Just for Fun has the upper hand here?
I'm sure that they learned something from that match against Estonian Vipers in the first match. I mean, that was a pretty 50-50 game that could have ended on the both sides, but the Shen was a big problem there. If I remember correctly, they did have the Kai'Sa, which got taunted by the Shen every single time the fight started. No cleanse, no QSS, and Kai'Sa was being burst down every single time. Since then, Just for Fun have not played Kai'Sa that much. They did switch to the Ezreal, so maybe they can go for that pick. They are on the blue side this game, so maybe they can go for the Ezreal pick and hope for it to actually win the game for them. Ezreal does have a really good win ratio so far during the Baltic Masters, and also welcome. not that good of a performance in that first game against the Vipers, but then since that game he started playing something like that can carry the game more, something like Set, maybe the Renekton, so maybe a different draft from Just for Fun, and they can actually take down Vipers.
And where does your vote go? I think this one, the last one, I mean, the previous one was also a tough one, but this one is also a tough one.
Yeah, both games are like 50-50, so it is hard definitely to predict who will win the game. Honestly, I'm like sticking to Just for Fun since that first loss against the Estonian Vipers, so I'm gonna do it again. But since, I don't know, Vipers, they have the same score as Just for Fun, but still, like, I wasn't that impressed with the way they played, so maybe this will be their chance to actually, like, evolve in my eyes.
Yeah. Nice. Saina, where does your vote go?
The Cobras. No, the Vipers. The Snakes.
Who is it? Who is it?
Yeah, it's gonna go to the Vipers. Honestly, I feel like their last game was sure they played against Kenty, but at the same time, I feel like they actually showed that they can do a lot at the beginning of the game, and I feel like right now, Baltic Masters team can actually get a lead, ends up winning the game. Yeah.
Let's see how you voted on our Instagram profile. Baltic Masters, it's 53 for Just for Fun and only 47, not only 47, but nearly 50-50 here. Just as you said, this game is 50-50, and the audience just showed us that they also think and that this can be a really exciting game. Potentially on our hands, the last game is going to be the most exciting one. Ladies and gentlemen, the introduction for our third game. We gave you some info here. What can we expect from both teams? Michko stands for Just for Fun, but Saina said that the Vipers, are gonna be the better team here. Stay tuned. We're going into the Champion Select.
We are back, and once again, the desk is divided. We have voted for separate teams, but again, we're going to see how it's going to end up. I feel like the draft will be I'm not going to say the total decider, but I feel like the draft can actually pull quite a lot in this particular matchup. It's exactly what we're going into pretty soon. And once again, Vipers, they had a very dominant game against a somewhat weaker opponent. On the other side, Just for Fun as well, a team that can actually play both the early game tempo and play around the later stage of the game as well. So it's going to be a pretty interesting one. Once again, pick-wise, do you think we're going to see something new? Because honestly, today, the drafts have been somewhat surprising, at least in a couple of picks.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did see the Camille on the side of 5 Kings, something that we don't usually see being picked by their side. But the most important thing for me today, in this match specifically, is the statistics. Statistics say that every single time we disagreed, I was the right one, so Just for Fun, thanks for the win. But they will lose the first ban here, so no option for them to actually ban something. I mean, Ezreal is definitely the pick that they have to pick or ban here. Raf only performed well while playing the Ezreal. His Kaisa, I forgot the champion's name. She did not look that well, so I'm not really expecting from him to see anything besides the Ezreal. And now when the Ezreal has not been banned from Just for Fun, that means that it must be a first pick for them, unless they have some kind of an answer to it. But Volibear is open, they can go for that pick as well. Good flex for the top, for the jungle, for possibly maybe a support as well. But if Estonian Vipers go for the Ezreal, they can always answer with Aphelios Lula, Aphelios Nautilus, Kalista Nautilus maybe, and try to stomp the Ezreal from the beginning of the game. But Rav definitely didn't look that bad in the mid and late game, so laning phase definitely will not be something that will like completely win or lose the game for Estonian Vipers.
We will see Volibear picked, Graves hovered over. Will most likely get locked in, but I'm kind of curious what's going to get picked next, because I don't see why they wouldn't go for the Ezreal. It's going to be pretty okay into the Volibear as well. I mean, you can't actually... It depends on the build, because sometimes you see Ezreal players going for that blade as the third item, which will significantly increase his damage to the Volibear that's stacking the health. On the other side, it will be a lot easier to kill. Personally, I do like the Death's Dance first, then blade as the second, rather the fourth item on the Ezreal. However, sometimes it happens that you lose the game before you can actually finish the blade, and that's something that the Vipers have to look out for. Graves, it's okay. Personally, again, I think there's some better junglers, but either way, should do a lot. Get that Black Cleaver, amplify the Ezreal's damage as well. Overall, it should do quite a lot of work, and it also blocks other picks for just for fun. It actually went for the Ashe. Now Nautilus or Karma have to be locked in here, and it seems like it's got to be the later.
Yeah, honestly, I expected to see Aphelios and Nautilus, I mean, or Kalista Nautilus. No matter what you go with the Ezreal, that would be a Karma or a Yuumi. Both picks are like not that good into Nautilus, so if they go for a Nautilus, they can go and actually take the kills in the early stages of the game, no matter of the AD carry they go for. Ashe, not really something I'm looking forward to. I mean, he's playing against the Ezreal and the Nautilus, so he can be like early stomped, and also with the Muramana being built on the Ashe, honestly, that will be like a Corki level scaling, even worse than that. I mean, Kai'Sa, maybe Kai'Sa level stacking, like your volley does have a really high amount of cooldown on the W. Besides the W, you usually don't do anything beside out attacking on the Ashe, so stacking the tier will be a slow process for the Just for Fun's AD carry, but also in the late game it can work out pretty well, and I'm liking the Kog'Maw. I mean, blind pick, yeah, it is kind of risky, but the late game scaling on the Kog'Maw will definitely be pretty good, and also you're playing against the Ashe, who doesn't have any single dashes, flashes, or anything to survive, so hit one ulti, hit second ulti, hit third ulti, and Ashe will be probably dead. Kog'Maw scaling will be pretty fun, and Ezreal will provide a good amount of damage in the mid game. Kog'Maw will stack up to that in the late game, and also Graves for the early beginning. And Kassadin is an answer. Honestly, I'm liking this pretty much. Good scaling from the both mid laners. Now we have to see which scaling will be better in the late game.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very interesting draft on both sides, honestly. And once again, I said you might expect better drafts. I feel like that's exactly what we're getting. Both the Kassadin and the Kog'Maw, they're going to be very strong, very good in terms of scaling. Now the only question, what's going to be the last pick? And it seems like it's going to be Aatrix, which will put Volibear in the jungle. On the other side, Vipers, they're last picking, and I'm very curious to see what is going to be their last pick, because they can just go for a Malphite. That's going to be okay into Aatrix. You're not going to win, but again, you're going to be one-shotting the Ashe, you're going to be dealing with the Karma. They can go for, because I feel like they need a tank. That's kind of the whole point of it.
Yeah, Malphite, Ornn, Sion, Maokai.
Yeah. Or they just say, okay, Fiora, Jax, and we just split push.
Honestly, Kled.
Kled
is an ultimate counter for Aatrix because of the grievous wounds. Also in the late game, you'll just legit use the ultimate, run into Ashe, she's dead. Also with passive, with some defensive items, he can be a pretty good tank as well. Not as tanky as Malphite, but a good option as well. But as you said it, Malphite just ulti the Ashe, she's dead, but you have a problem where you want to ult the enemy backline where Ashe is standing, but on the other hand, you have Volibear in your backline, Aatrix in your backline, Kassadin in your backline. Not really sure how much he can tank all of them, and also Kassadin not gonna die against the Malphite that easily. In the late game he can go maybe go play 1-3-1 and side lane against the Malphite without enough magic resist. Kassadin can kill him pretty easily.
We're gonna see what's gonna happen in that matchup, of course. Honestly, I would like for this game to go into level 16 for both ends, just so we can see the level 16 Kog'Maw, which is something we almost never see. For some reason, whenever Kog'Maw is picked, they either win or lose before around level 14. I think that's the mark. And then Kassadin is the classic. They wait till 16, they just win. there's no losing with Cassidy unless you just fully int and your mid laner doesn't get to 16.
They
But
do have the tier Ashe, so they will have to wait like 25-30 minutes,
it's true.
definitely. I mean, stacking the tier on the Ashe, as I already said, the only skill you use is a W. Maybe you can use like a hawkshot to reveal enemies, get some tier stacks, but it's not the spamming spell as Mystic Shots, as Corky Rockets, so stacking will be definitely hard, take some more time than Kassadin, but until you stack the tier, Kassadin will reach level 16, Aatrox will have Death Dance into Black Cleaver, so everybody will have everything they need at that point of the game, and maybe then they can win every single fight.
Actually, fun fact, Hawkshot does not stack Ashe, rather it doesn't stack the tier because it costs 0 mana, and tier stacks on mana expenditure. Most spells have been changed to give you, that cost 1 mana, like I think Casting's W, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's exactly 1 mana just for that sake of, you know, you're proccing it, you're using the, you're getting the you know, mana cost, or rather you're expending mana, so you're getting the stack, but Ashe isn't. Then again, it's like a 30-second, 45-second cooldown spell, so not like you're going to be using it for the mana stacking anyway, but it's going to be fun. It's honestly going to be fun, and I want to see how both of these teams make way for their mid laner, because honestly, it doesn't matter if your Ashe is level 10, if your Caster is level 16, and the same is going to go for the Ezreal, as long as he has the mana immune. His solo XP is not going to be so significant compared to the Kog'Maw. So I really want to see both teams open up the lane. Just whenever they see a big wave building up, just send your mid laner, because it will be the difference between winning and losing, of course. Overall, yeah, I think Aatrox should be winning top lane against the Malphite. Quite a hard Malphite. Can rush the Bramble Vest, get the anti-heal, but I still don't think he will have enough damage to actually confirm the kill on the Aatrox, even with the anti-heal. Overall, a very fun draft for both teams. And yeah, I actually can't wait to see who's gonna win this game.
Well, I agree, yeah. I mean, Malphite probably will never kill Aatrox 1v1, but again, as you said it, Bramble Vest will reduce the healing. Also, Ashe does go for the Bramble Vest for Death Dance or the Blade of Ruin King, so healing is there for the Ashe. Volibear is also healing a lot, so Bramble Vest for Malphite will not be that bad of an option. Maybe later in the game, transfer that to Tormail and reduce the Ashe's impact on the game, but in the early stages of the game, use the 1000 gold to go for the Bramble Vest, and then build some more armor with the Bami Cinder, with the completed Chain Vest to get some more armor against the Aatrox. Definitely healing on him is the biggest problem for Estonian Vipers, and besides the Malphite, maybe Ezreal can go for the Executioner's Calling. Besides that, not really sure who will get the healing reduction items. Maybe Kog'Maw if he wants to go for the Moralnomicon, but taking into consideration the Kog'Maw wants to build the tier. After that, he goes for the Liandry's Torment. After that, he goes for Rabadon's Deathcap or the Void Staff. That means that Yabutikaba will have that item maybe as his 4th or the 5th item, and by that time, Aatrox already healed more than Estonian Vipers could have handled. Either way, Jax has started the blue buff. Yoft went for the red one, so both junglers started from the topper side of the map. So far, the first trade in the bot lane goes into favor of Syrax and Mercenary. Good amount of damage being applied to the Ezreal as well, and the Nautilus Karma's Empower Q into Syrax's volley honestly did a pretty good amount of damage, and if Mercenary had Ignite here, maybe there was an option for the first blood to be taken, but with Syrax's barrier and Karma's heal, that wasn't really an option there. Either way, Raph and Suplex, both of them used all of those healing potions, and now they're forced to stay under the turret because of the poke being applied from Karma and Ashe.
Let's see Kog'Maw here warding up Jax's jungle. Throws the E, doesn't quite get anything, some poke down, but still there's no CS for him to last hit, so he might as well just stand the enemy jungle and tries to be a little bit annoying. Castin, of course, pre-level 6. He's not really going to be looking into moving anywhere. Kog'Maw knows that, and he's trying to abuse it. The Doran's Blade as well, I feel like, is a very, very good start for the Kog'Maw. In the mid lane, you're using that physical damage to just right-click the Kassadin and go partially through his spell, or rather, magic damage shield. Koning will take a good chunk of damage from the Aatrox. Meanwhile, Mercenary with the roam on the mid lane, and honestly, Kog'Maw does not expect this, but the only question is there enough damage to kill the Kog'Maw here? He does have the phasers, he's gonna flash instantly, and I feel like Mercenary is more than happy with how this turned out.
Yeah, I mean, he did flash and now he can be killed. One more auto attack. Domas will not find that auto attack against the Kog'Maw and Mercenary. Definitely did not deal enough damage. Flash will be forced from Domas as well. Not really sure why they actually went back to there. To that Kog'Maw, and now Yoft is here. Can he actually kill Domas? I mean, that's a level 3 Graves with the red buff, but Kassadin and Karma are there. Flash is coming in from Jenxes. He will try to find the stun on the Suplex. Prezi Tech is gonna be used, and Jenxes gets the first blood against the Estonian Vipers support. Honestly, didn't expect first blood to be taken on this side of the map. Yoft did not do anything in the mid lane. Jabutikaba honestly didn't have to come back there, but he did a pretty good job. I mean, he didn't die, and he forced the flash out of Kassadin. So maybe I cannot say like job well done, but Jabutikaba starts the Doran's blade. What?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Into the Kassadin.
Yeah, into
You want the
Kassadin.
physical damage, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. As I mentioned earlier, you just want to try to abuse the physical damage because if Kassadin sees you storing Corrupting Pot or a Doran's Ring, he's just gonna max Q and then he will just survive with the Fleet Footwork and the Q shield spam. He will not be shoved out of lane. The Doran's Blade has enabled Kog'Maw to actually play a little bit more aggressive, but I feel like still Mercenaries Roam did quite a lot, and something that, yeah, we see Raxo do a lot in the EBL, just constantly move towards that mid lane. So Karma doing a lot of work. Kog'Maw, now he's pretty strong, but he's afraid to push because if he shoves in, he can easily get roamed on or just yanked by Jenxes. Kog'Maw once again placing that ward. Jenxes, I believe he saw it. But since he already used his red trinket, he's not going to be able to sweep it anyway. Kog'Maw can see so much damage coming in from the Kog'Maw here. Thomas losing 1/3 of his health. And Jenxes, he just needs to wait. Everything that justforfun needs to do is wait, get that jump on casting, get that turret potential, or rather dive potential on the Volibear. Ashe with the ult as well to confirm some CC. And on the Viper side, they're kind of thinking the same. Ezreal more mana, Malphite just beefy overall. And then Kog'Maw's level 11 and level 16. But so far, this game is exactly the way we expect it to be, and that's very slow, very passive. Both teams heavily focusing on that scaling.
Yeah, not much of an action on the map so far, but Jenxes and Yoft will meet each other around this Dragon Pit. Jenxes can try and gank this Kog'Maw. Chilling Smite is there into Volibear slow, into the stun. Domas does a pretty good amount of damage, and that will be the kill. On the other hand, Yoft already managed to kill Domas, and now Jamputikaba's passive will damage this Kog'Maw. Volibear by some damage. Sufflex's rotation was a little bit slow. If he came a few seconds earlier, maybe the Dreadling could have been hit, and now Volibear needs some problem. He managed to find the ult. He will get some bonus HP as well as the shield. Domas is a level 6 Kassadin. He wants to take the kill onto Sufflex. Let's see if the Rift Walk will be enough. He will kill the Sufflex. Now Yoft is in some problems as well. Domas will not try to actually dive the graves. 200 HP. Was a good option probably for Domas to actually try to take the kill, but it was also a little bit risky. He denied that option, but that's a 2-kill Volibear and a 1-kill Kassadin. Honestly, not looking that bad for justforfun. But Welcome will do a pretty good amount of damage against Connings here. Malphite will be forced to run away, and he did buy the Bramble Vest Bami Cinder. Now I'm looking forward to getting that Bramble Vest. As we see, Aatrox, every single time he wins the trade against the Malphite, he doesn't lose any single HP for himself, so Healing Reduction definitely is a must-buy for Estonian Vipers as top laner. So far he does have the cloth armor and the boots, so maybe Ninja Tabi can be something we will see in his inventory, although against the Aatrox, Ninja Tabi, honestly not something you actually need, but that cloth armor can be changed into Bramble Vest, into Chain Vest, anything that is needed for Malphite's itemization, so maybe it won't even be a Ninja Tabi. First Drake on the map will be that Infernal, and honestly, with only one Infernal being present on the map, both teams want to take it. We will see which team will actually be the one having that bonus AD and AP on their side. Jenxes coming top lane. Malphite doesn't have the ulti, does have the flash. So maybe Janxas will not have a chance at ganking the top lane, but with the Graves being spotted by the wards on his blue buff, that means that Just for Fun can take the first Herald of the game without any single contest. Now, where the Herald will be used? That's a really good question, honestly, because so far as we can see, Aatrox is under his turret, mid lane is kind of in the middle, and the bot lane side is not that good for Just for Fun, but the Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits from the bot lane. Jabuticaba does have the flash, will use it to run away from Domas, but now Janxas doesn't have the Volibear ultimate, which means he will not dive this Kog'Maw. Honestly, Ashe could have waited a few more seconds for Volibear to arrive on the mid lane, but now Yoft wants to solo kill this dragon. He will be spotted by the wards, and he will be forced to whiff by this Cassadin flash W for Mercenary, but Jabuticaba does have a fair amount of damage with this little artillery. He will not kill Mercenary, and Domas takes a double kill as the Cassadin also gets the double buffs. Honestly, awesome moment for this Just for Fun mid laner. Cyrex survives Ruff's True Shot Barrage. Ezreal already used his ultimate, and now Aatrox is coming to the bot side. He used the World Ender. He will kill the Ruff. Now let's see if they can dive the Surflex. 3 people under the Estonian Vipers' bot side tower. Double kill for Welcome as well. And Just for Fun takes 4 kills over the bot side of the map, and now they can rotate to the Dragon. So far, Ashe and Karma are not coming to the Drake party, but after this minion wave gets destroyed, they will take the first dragon for themselves.
Honestly, Michiko, it seems like history is repeating itself, because your guess seems to be pretty on point here, not gonna lie. Cassadin getting those 3 frags so early into the game, even before level 11. That's usually the part where Cassadin still just wants to scale, he wants those items, and he's already very fed. On the other side, as we said, Cyrex not going for that mana, just rushing the blade into the Malphite. It's not going to be too bad. But still, Estonian Vipers, they got to figure out what they're going to do, because so far, sure, they're playing heavy scaling, but if you lose too much to a Cassadin, you really are not going to win later into the game when he is pretty much full build. Domas, as you can tell, just less hitting away, scaling up with that late footwork as well. Can regen some health back. He can just press Q here and jump backwards, or he can just tank a turret shot for nothing. Either way, Malphite still having difficulties on top, as expected. In the jungle, Volibear scaling off pretty well. So, yeah, I feel like right now, Just for Fun is in a good spot to continue on scaling and doing damage. Volibear here with the dive, and the Kog'Maw is dead.
He flashed over the Raptor wall. Janxas will not die from this turret shot, but Kog'Maw passive will kill him. That will be a 1-for-1 trade, but honestly a pretty interesting idea for Janxas to actually dive the turret. He did have the ulti. I'm not really sure why didn't he just ult over the wall, disable the turret, take the kill over the Kog'Maw and just flash away. Instead he used the flash to stun the Kog'Maw and then used the ult to disable the turret after he already tanked like 2 or 3 turret shots. Also Ashe not going for the tier build as we kind of expected it, but honestly he's playing against Nautilus and the Malphite. The good amount of tankiness will be on the side of Estonian Vipers' frontline, so maybe for Ashe, Manamune is not that necessary of an item, so Valorant King can be a good buy. I mean, she will get a fair amount of life steal after Runa's Hurricane Infinity Edge combo, or maybe Runa's Hurricane into Death Dance. Either way, she will heal pretty easily, but I'm not really sure if Cyrex is like Auto Attacker 2 can give him enough health back, considering how much damage Kog'Maw can deal in the late game. Domas wants to fight with Yoft. He finds the first Rift Walk, wants to try to find the second one. Dive is gonna happen in the bot lane, but Karma is the only guy in the problem here. Teleport is gonna be cancelled from this Malphite, but Ruff will take his first kill of the game. Honestly, not really sure why Karma and Ashe tried to dive the turret against Ezreal and Nautilus 2 against 2. Welcome did manage to destroy Mercenaries, Koningspachela's health bar after that failed TP, but Domas wants to Rift Walk away, and now Janxas is 1 against 2, wants to run away against Yoft and Jabuticaba, and he will manage to do that. Rift Herald will secure another 2 plates for the Cassadin and the Volibear, but not the third one, since Rift Herald did not take his first out attack after the charge, so only 320 gold for the Volibear and Cassadin here. Domas recalling to maybe get a tier. He still doesn't have it, but 3 stacks on the Road of Ages is pretty good for him, teleporting back to mid lane, and that will be a lost chapter. Still no tier for this Kassadin, but as already said, it's not that really necessary. His stacks is pretty fast, low cooldowns, spells to use constantly, so the tier will be stacked in a few minutes after it gets bought, and Shattered Crystal will not hit this Ezreal, honestly. Maybe Jenks and Mercenary could have waited a little bit more till the arrow lands, but they didn't know about the ward in the bush, which basically forced Ruff to step away from the Enchanted Crystal arrow. Domas will take this blue buff, so Kassadin can now spam spells even more. And in the top side, Malphite finally got his Bramble Vest, and now Welcome maybe in some problems against the Malphite. Not a single health point was lost in the top lane after the Aatrox combo. I was expecting though a kill in the mid lane, or maybe a flash burn from Yabutikaba. Instead of that, nothing happened except Kog'Maw losing 50% of his HP. Jenxes has the Cinder Hulk, and this will be also Glacier Shroud for Volibear, which means he will be going for the Righteous Glory in this game. Good item for engaging onto the enemy team, and it can work pretty well against the Ezreal and the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, 25 seconds till the Drake spawns. Kassadin hit that level 11, so I feel like Just for Fun should get that Drake no problem. Vipers, on the other hand, still stacking tiers, hoping to scale up, hoping that Just for Fun is going to make that mistake that's going to buy them some more time. Dredge line not quite going to work into the Riftwalk, so Domas, he's feeling good just jumping around. Having that 2-level advantage on a Kassadin mid lane is pretty phenomenal. Meanwhile, Yoft, no idea what he was looking for there. And honestly, it's kind of the problem with the laners as well. You can actually, you can kind of blame him for being in that spot, but at the same time, what are you going to do? Gank for a level 10 Kog'Maw that has like 300 mana? That's just not gonna work.
Domas, Riftwalk! Well, he used a flash defensively. I mean, he can like flash offensively, kill the Kog'Maw, Riftwalk away, take the kill and survive as well. He only wanted to survive here, so no kills for this Kassadin. It would be a 4th one for him. But Welcome rotating from the top lane. He will spot the Malphite here, will not. He will land the first Q, not land the second one. Chains also will not pull Malphite away, and now Konings, if he lands the flash knock-up, maybe Karma can be in some problems, but since Graves is only in his part of the jungle, Blue Team has destroyed the first turret in the game in the mid lane, and also Just for Fun has taken the second Drake of the game as well. So 1 Infernal, 1 Cloud Drake. Mountain Drakes will spawn for the rest of this game until some team takes the Mountain Soul. Honestly, both teams will be pretty happy with the Mountain Shield, especially maybe Ashe after this burst coming down from Malphite and the Kog'Maw knock up into Kog'Maw's ultimate. Pretty easy kill there for the Estonian Vipers, but something that we totally expected to see in this game, and the reason why Malphite is a good pick for Vipers in their champion select.
Estonian Vipers, as mentioned, they are struggling. Kassadin here going onto the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw will flash away, but Domas can just wait. Let Volibear ult, turn off the turret. Maybe they don't even need to do that, because honestly, Kog'Maw, as we see, really doesn't do all that much. He should, yeah, he definitely should ult here. No reason to just trade a kill. That's why I felt like you should just ult it in the first place. Just make sure you guarantee that kill without putting yourself in any danger, but either way, a counterplay topside is going to happen. But are you really going to dive a full health Aatrox? That will be quite difficult. Nautilus rotating topside. They want to get this 3-1 turret, and that's exactly what you're going to get. However, Just for Fun already grabbed 1 turret mid, so it doesn't necessarily mean all that much for them. It's an okay used Herald, but not perfect. Kassadin, I was thinking maybe he goes aggressive here, because Ruff needs to honestly be careful. Too little health, no magic resist. Level 10 Kog'Maw going for the full health Karma. He needs the target to be low before he can actually do a lot of damage. And Mercenary can even go on the Kog'Maw to try to get some damage done, and then just have Volibear potentially finish off the Kog'Maw. Jenxes knows there's a controller there. The Kog'Maw doesn't spot him, but after the blue trinket, He knows he needs to potentially either back off or just go for the turret and get the free kill. Domas doesn't have all that much mana. He needs to basic the Graves to get the mana back. Now he did and has enough
Yeah,
mana to
Coma
jump.
passive does a lot of damage, so we can basically see it's just for fun, always being in some problems. Yoft will not do enough damage. I guess this Volibear healing is enough for Jenks, and now he can look for the stuns here, teleporting coming from the Aatrox, and now this is a 5 against a 3 situation in favor of Just for Fun. Ezreal managed to kill the Kassadin, but I think someone will actually chase down Ruff. Welcome managed to take this kill. I'm not really sure how, because Eric's volley actually hit this Ezreal, but this will be a 5-for-1 ace in favor of Just for Fun. 9,000 gold lead at this point of the match, and this is a 4-0 Aatrox, 6-1 Volibear, 4-2 Kassadin. Honestly, the future doesn't look bright for Estonian Vipers. Ezreal doesn't still have the stacked tier, not complete the gauntlet as well. Kog'Maw also doesn't have a stacked tier, but honestly, with this good amount of kills on Just for Fun, I'm not really sure how Estonian Vipers can come back from this. Kassadin is level 12, so his Rift Walk does a really good amount of damage. Not that big of a cooldown though, as on the level 16, but a level 11 Kassadin is already a pretty good threat.
Yeah, Kassadin, as said, feeling very good about himself. And honestly, the outcome of this game so far, Volibear, who is pretty much there as far as the Randy Zoman goes. So right now, we definitely have a very strong Just for Fun and a very weak Estonian Vipers. Even when both tiers stack, I still don't think that's going to be enough of a power spike for them to actually come back into the game. So, you know, that just raises the question, okay, so what can they do? What is the answer? What can actually make happen so that they will be strong enough? Nautilus not going to have insane scaling. Ezreal, I don't see how he's going to survive Kassadin. I did, however, mention at the beginning of the game, I hope to see a level 16 Kog'Maw. So we're going to see what the range does. Maybe, just maybe, the bonus range he's going to get and the extra damage can actually help him kill Kassadin before Kassadin gets to him, even though I think that's going to be kind of hard. I think we do have a little bit of a technical difficulty, so we should be jumping into the studio.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's a mystery.
What's the problem with this game and who's the player having issues? Well, maybe that's a good opportunity for Caster's Q&A. We saw yesterday that it heals all the problems, fixes all the issues, and bring us back to the game even faster. So far, Just for Fun, yeah, they look much better than in their first game against the Vipers, and maybe this... I don't want to hurry and say that this game is already over, but honestly, having 4 kills on a Kassadin that is level 12, you have a pretty fed Volibear, pretty fed Aatrox. Yeah, Malphite does have a Bramble Vest, but nobody else on the side of Estonian Vipers has grievous wounds, and we already saw how Aatrox can be strong if the fight happens. They already won the fight, it was like 4 against 5. They took more kills, and then Aatrox TP'd and took the ace for his team. So even without the Aatrox, they can fight pretty easily, pretty strong as well. Volibear is pretty tanky. He does have the Karma, who is shielding and healing him. Also, Ashe and Kassadin do both deal a lot of damage, as well as pure tank Volibear. So maybe Aatrox is not even needed there, but he was there to secure the ace.
Yeah, and I hope, yeah, soon enough we're gonna get the answer to what's going on with both the players. And you know, this darkness behind us. I feel like Nocturne just ulted onto the monitor, so hopefully, you know, we're gonna get all of those resolved. But yeah, either way, we can only assume internet issues. So as soon as we get the actual info, then we're gonna know if, you know, we need to pull out our phones and just do the good old caster Q&A, so we fix whatever is bothering people. But yeah, I think what should be bothering Estonian Vipers is the fact that, you know, it's just a matter of time. Kassadin is almost there. He starts jumping on your heads, and that's pretty much when it's close to over. Welcome. I mean, they're just standing in the front and they're taking no damage.
Crystal over the wall, and Welcome will flash to take the kill on the rough. Now they want to chase down Yoft. The slow from Volibear will not land, but Suplex will die against Cyrex and Mercenary. Welcome still trying to chase people down, but his ultimate is gonna end soon, so no healing for the Aatrox that easily. Still, the bot lane from the side of Estonian Vipers is dead. Mountain Drake has been spawned on the map, and Cunning's ultimate is on cooldown. Only Jabuticaba can actually try and maybe prevent the Drake from being taken, but honestly, while Kog'Maw is standing on the tier 2 turret, there's no way for him to actually contest this. They want to actually try and kill Cyrex. Flash and Barrier are both on cooldown at this moment, and Yoft will find a way to actually catch the Ashe. Jabuticaba will snipe it down, but again, just for fun, did take the third Drake of the game. Mercenary and Domus will CC lock the Malphite. Unstoppable Force is on cooldown, which means Domus takes the easy kill here. He does have the Negatron Cloak, but definitely not enough magic resist against the Kassadin. Yoft over the wall, but also Welcome trying to hit those vitals. Will not hit enough for anybody on Estonian Vipers to die except the Malphite. So 1-for-1 trade, but just for fun, they did take the Drake, and now they need only one more mountain to secure the soul into their favor. Honestly, against the combo, against the Malphite, Mountain Drakes can be pretty good, getting those bonus stats. Over armor, magic resist, and the shield. Kog'Maw will need one or two more ultis on just for fun members to actually take down the shield, after which he can use the ulti to try and take down the kill. We'll see what will happen, but so far it doesn't look pretty good for Estonian Vipers. They lack 11,000 gold at 22nd minute of the game. Honestly, pretty scary. Global gold lead so far for Just for Fun, and Kassadin is a level 14. Got the tier, started stacking 12 stacks of Magi as well. If I was Estonian Vipers with, honestly, my really weird mentality, I would already started surrender voting. But okay, they do have the Ezreal who, yeah, he does a fair amount of damage. The tier is stacked for him, but still, if you want to damage Aatrox without healing reduction items, he will heal with one out attack more than your Mystic Shots does damage. So Ruff does not find a perfect target so far, which is a problem for him.
Yeah, and once again, just for fun, a level and a half away on the Kassadin from the potential victory. Domus, of course, as I mentioned earlier, I want to see teams open up those solo lanes, open up that solo XP for their mid laners, and that's exactly what's happening. Taking into consideration Kassadin is top, Kog'Maw is rotating as well, but Kog'Maw has to be careful because Kassadin is so fat he can most likely dive him. Domus chasing you off level 15. The stun will connect, Kassadin wants the damage, but the flash comes right out.
Yeah, Kassadin is level 15, but no shield for him as well. Karma will do some help in that situation, and Domus will run away. Still a level 15, Kassadin just hit level 15, so he will need a little bit more of time to actually reach the level 3 on his ultimate. Welcome in the meantime, fighting with Koningspachla and doing a pretty good amount of damage, even though this Malphite does have a Bramble Vest and a healing reduction. Still not enough for Aatrox to not destroy him. He is at 50% HP, and maybe Jenxos will try and dive. He does have the Volibear ulti, so the turret will be disabled. Malphite also not tanky enough for everybody to actually come bot lane. He will ulti defensively, but definitely getting killed by the Domus, and now with the minion wave on the bot side of the map, Estonian Vipers will lose the second inhibitor, the second turret on the bot side, and now they want to actually try to defend this inhibitor. Not really sure how this will happen. Ruff will be sniped with Enchanted Crystal from Syrax from the mid lane. Double kill for Domus. Wants to take the triple on Yoft. Will he take it? Definitely it's a yes. And now Jabuticaba totally out of mana, which means this Kassadin will take a quadra kill. Third quadra today. In 2 games, 3 quadras. Interesting game so far, and just for fun, they did take the ace here. No penta, but they have 5 players alive. Teleport coming in from the Kassadin, and this looks like the game to me. Just for fun, they did lose against Estonian Vipers in the first round of Baltic Masters, but now they are coming back to take the victory, to secure the 2nd place after week number 3.
And our last game was a quick one. 25 minutes took just for fun to take down Estonian Vipers. Now they are ahead. They seem to be a better team here in this matchup. We're going to talk with Michko and Saina what happened here and how did the Estonian Vipers let the team just for fun take them down. Guys, let's go from the beginning of the game, from the beginning of the draft. We saw some of the picks that we usually see, but that Cassidy on mid, was that something that you didn't expect to be picked, and then they pulled it out? Did they pull a pocket pick here?
Maybe. I'm not really sure if Cassidy is the pocket pick for them, but they saw the Kog'Maw. After Kog'Maw, Cassidy is definitely like the best scaling champion in the game at the moment, so they wanted to go like scale against the scaling. Honestly, Kog'Maw was maybe a bigger surprise than a Cassidy, because Jaboticabo yesterday made a pretty good game with the Echo, so I was expecting something more aggressive, something that maybe stops the lane even more, carries the game better. Kog'Maw, yeah, he's good, but we already talked about it. He's a 50-50 pick. He can either carry the game or he can be not that impactful to the game, and honestly, these Ash's arrows, every single one he used, like from the whole map to the other side of the map, every single one landed, and every single one almost either burned the summoner or took the kill. So even though Cassidy played well, Atrix played well, Volibear was also having a pretty good performance. Honestly, Ash was having a blast. AFK farming, not doing anything, and then, okay, I have the chat crystal, let's look who can I snipe. Uses the ulti, he's the ulti, so her teammates take the kill, and she's getting gold without doing anything on the map.
In China, do you think, since you said and you wanted Vipers to win, do you think they maybe misplayed, or it isn't their day? What happened on the side of the Vipers?
Well, I feel like just for fun, read what Vipers want to do, and they just did it better. They saw the Kog'Maw, they're like, okay, they want to play for scaling, they have the Ezreal, they have the Kog'Maw, they just want to wait. Okay, we're going to pick the Castin, we're just going to wait harder. And that's exactly what happened. Castin just, I mean, not even that, to be completely honest, Castin got fed early on, but if nothing happened in this game and Castin got to level 16, I still feel like he would just go side lane. Malphite cannot deal with the Castin, there is no way. Kog'Maw cannot deal with the Castin. There's nobody to fight him in the side lane. So I feel like just for fun, the way they set up the draft, the only way they could lose is if they just ran it down mid and just hard hinted.
And just for fun now goes ahead on the scoreboard. Michko, with this kind of plays and this kind of play style and this kind of tactic, where they outdraft their opponent, do you think they potentially can be the second on the scoreboard?
Well, so far they are. I think they can actually remain in second place, because they lost to Vipers in the first match. They lost only to 5 Kings after that, and every single team they played against, they actually pretty easily won the game. So maybe if we see like Kenty stepping up, Infamous stepping up, Iron Wolf stepping up, then maybe Just for Fun can lose the game. But if they play their own play style, not really sure how anyone can beat them except maybe 5 Kings.
And Sana, what do you think Estonian Vipers? What are their thoughts right now? Since this was an important match, I would say. Just for Fun had the same score as they did, and do you think they're gonna be a little bit down next week?
Well, not necessarily, because they lost in a different playstyle than what we're used to. As I said, I expected more of an aggressive draft, more aggressive picks, especially early on into the game. We saw the Kog'Maw, they tried to stomp the Cassidin, but honestly, they should have just drafted so they can just play aggro, stomp the lane, and just play off of that. So I feel like, okay, maybe the hard scaling isn't really paying out for them. But, next week you can just be like, okay, now we just try aggressive again and see if that works a little bit better.
We'll go ahead and ask Domas how he feels since he played that Cassidin. That was supposed to be stomped by Kog'Maw, but he didn't do a whole lot. Domas, congrats on your victory, an outstanding performance of that champion.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts after this game? Did you guys outdraft your opponent, or you outplayed them?
Well, I don't think that we really outdrafted them, but we were really upset after yesterday, so we just picked our best champions and just tried our best to, just to stomp them, not only like to win,
Yeah, and it seemed like their draft was meant to be for that late game, for the scaling. Did you guys, when you saw the picks, did you guys decide to go on that Cassidin, on Ashe, or was it planned from the beginning?
Well, we knew that what they might play, so we banned accordingly, and we also picked strong other laners and strong jungler, so I can get to my level 6 safely, and we knew that we will win late game, so yeah, it was pretty according to the plan.
And you are right now on the second place. There's a lot more to go. We are on our sixth round, but do you think you can stay on that position with this kind of performance?
Well, I think we can stay and we can. I'm not sure if we can get to the first place unless Five Kings loses, but I'm pretty sure that we will be stronger and we will stay on the top.
Definitely. Wish you all the best, and we hope to see you in those playoffs.
Thank you, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
He said that it was planned all along. It seemed like they some kind of knew what Vipers are gonna play, or Vipers fell into Just for Fun's trap. Do you think that Just for Fun, like they wanted to play the scaling? Because they know like Vipers are usually playing those aggressive drafts, and we're gonna play for scaling, not let them kill us in the early phase. We're gonna outscale them, but then Vipers come with the scaling draft also. Do you think that it was a mistake by Vipers, Michiko? Do you think that they should play that aggressive style, like stick to your style?
Yeah, honestly, they were the red side, so maybe they could have opted for the top lane pick and then wait to see what Just for Fun will play in the mid lane and then save the last pick for the mid lane counter pick. Honestly, if they went for the Kog'Maw, Just for Fun had the option, like go for the pick that stomps Kog'Maw early on, but later on when Kog'Maw manages to scale up, then you still have a small chance of losing. Yeah. If you go for the Kassadin, you can burst down Kog'Maw even in the late game and he cannot kill the whole enemy team. So they saw the Kog'Maw, they knew they want to go for the Kassadin, and Aatrox as a blind pick top, honestly, it works pretty well into mostly anything. So saving the last pick for the Malphite, not really something that I like there. So maybe next time if they go for the red side, save the last pick for the mid. As we said, Jaboticaba played a really good game on the Echo. Echo, not really that good of a blind pick, but maybe if the Kog'Maw wasn't logged there, then we wouldn't see the Kassadin. Maybe the Kog'Maw would be on the other side, and Echo can like kill Kog'Maw pretty easily. So such an aggressive pick could have maybe changed the outcome of the game, but too late to think about that now.
Yeah, definitely the game is over. Let's go and head into our scoreboard. Let's see, we talked about the positions of some of the teams, but let's see how it looks like right now. Five Kings are 6-0. Just for Fun now goes on the second place here. 4-2. Now Iron Wolves and Estonian Vipers are on that tiebreaker, three wins and 3 loses. Team Infamous has that 1-5, and Kenty now has that 1-5. That's the victory that we wanted to see from Kenty. Yesterday you guys wanted to see Kenty win, but now they gave us their win. Sina, do you think that this tiebreaker, who do you favor more here?
Which one exactly?
It's the only tiebreaker
Wolves,
that we
Vipers?
have. Yeah, Wolves and Vipers.
It's
easy?
Wolves,
You're asking the wrong guy.
No, I'm just
Yeah, he's always for the
clearly-
Vipers. That's why I'm asking him.
No. I'm clearly going Wolves. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Saulius, so yeah, it's definitely
easy,
gonna be
yeah.
definitely gonna be.
It's
Saulius.
definitely gonna be Wolves. Well, we'll see in the coming up or upcoming matches. I mean, we still have what 6 rounds, 4 rounds,
4 rounds.
4 rounds. That's 2 weeks. That's not like a whole lot, but things can happen here.
Yeah, 4 games for each team. I mean, if Kenty wins all those 4 matches, there will be 5-3 on the table. And some teams will have to lose some matches. So that's a good opportunity for Kenty. I mean, but they still have to step up.
Yeah, if they calculate it right and play it right, they can have that. Let's go ahead and see what are we gonna see next week when we tune in. It's gonna be Tuesday, 7 o'clock. As you already know, it's gonna be Team Infamous against Just for Fun, 5 Kings against Estonian Vipers, and Iron Wolves against Kenty. I think we all already have favorites in all of these matches, but of course we'll see how it turns out. Can Kenty go up the scoreboard? Ladies and gentlemen, this was all for this week. We saw 2 days of good League of Legends. Even Kenty got a win tonight. Tune in again, of course. It's going to be Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Have a good night.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Lights.